Good evening and welcome to the August 4th meeting of the East Point City Council. Madam City Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Shropshire.
Present.
Councilmember Freely will not be in attendance. Councilmember Atkins. Councilmember Ziegler.
Present.
Councilmember Cummins. Councilmember Mitchell. Councilmember Butler. Councilmember Martin Rogers.
Present.
Mayor Holiday Ingram, we have a quorum.
Thank you so much. Tonight we will have our invocation by Bishop Greg Fan. Be ye also ready. If we all can stand and rise for the invocation and followed by the pledge to the flag.
Let us pray. Oh, gracious God, we thank you, Lord, for all that you have done and all that you do for us. And God, we ask tonight, God, that you would be with those who would deliberate on things that are pertaining to the least, the less, the lost, the people who live in this community and this city. And God, help us to be one and unified for the greater good. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Our Sergeant at Arms this evening will be Captain Robinson. Thank you so much for your service this evening. Get a motion to adopt the council agenda.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Councilman Shropshire.
I make a motion that we adopt the council agenda. Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have approval of city council meeting minutes. We'll also need some minutes from July 14th. I'm not sure if those have been approved yet, but there was action taken at that work session, so. But not tonight. I'm just noting that for the future. Can we get a motion to adopt to approve the city council minutes from the July 21st regular meeting?
Madam Mayor,
Councilman Shropshire.
I make a motion that we approve the city council meetings from July 21st. Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. We have no public hearings this evening. Madam City Clerk, do we have public comments?
We have 9 public comments this evening.
Thank you. Chapter 2, Section 2-2002BB, Rule 28. The public may speak during the public comment section of the agenda. Speakers must complete a comment form prior to the start of the meeting. Subject may include any subject of choice. There will be a 3-minute time limit for each speaker. Speakers that have signed up to speak may give all or part of their time up to 3 minutes to another speaker for a total of 6 minutes of speaking time. Speakers may address the council only once during this time of the agenda. Speakers must identify themselves and their address prior to speaking. Questions from the speakers may not be addressed during the public speaking section of the agenda. East Point residents will have priority over other speakers. There will be a total of not more than 60 minutes for the public speaking section of the agenda. Speakers may only address the presiding officer. Speakers shall observe all rules of decorum. No debate, disrespect, or obscenity shall be tolerated. The presiding officer shall rule any such individual out of order that fails to comply with the foregoing. Madam City Clerk, you can call the first speaker.
Up first, we have Ms. Gail Harden.
Right here? Okay. My name is Gail Harden, and my address is 2721 McCoy Avenue in East Point. And that's the McCoy Place subdivision, which is off of Ben Hill Road in Ward C. And so I'm here with my husband and my neighbor. We live in one of the cul-de-sacs. And we're concerned about renters who live next door to us. They live in a 7-bedroom house that's managed by Invitation Homes. The owner is out of state. And we have complained to Invitation Homes. We have complained to the East Point Police Department, the East Point Code Enforcement. We've also complained to the person who manages the East Point, the McCoy Place Facebook page. But we haven't received any thing that would rectify the situation. So I have a bunch of pictures here. I don't know if you'd be interested in them. One is a picture of a dog. We have asked the neighbors not to let their dog come on our property and poop, but they have a pit bull, and the dog does that anyway, even though the pit bull is not allowed by Invitation Homes, and, you know, they just turn a blind eye to that. And we have pictures of garbage overflowing on the property, usually just left out on the curb, and then a picture of the neighbor just watching as her dog poops on my yard, and I don't know how many times we have to mention it. We have a picture of a neighbor at our mailbox, then another lady playing with her dog on our property. The grass has only been cut twice this summer. Have another picture of children playing in the cul-de-sac and in our yard, and this was July the 27th at 3:20 in the morning. And another picture of a car that's actually parked in front of our mailbox, so any mailman who wanted to put anything in there, he would just be blocked out. Other pictures of someone was actually let out of a car. I don't know if it was an Uber or what, but instead of walking on the street to get to her driveway, she comes up halfway to my driveway and then just makes a cut through my yard to get to where she was going. We have other pictures of drive-by transactions, and they actually speak for themselves because people are only there for 5 minutes, and somebody comes out to the house, out to the car, and then they make the transaction, and then they just leave. And so this is going on several times a day. So that's the most serious offense that we are dealing with, is a suspected drug dealing. And so many people just coming and going, and these people, some of them don't even know where they're going. I don't know if they
So
just...
Ms. Harden, your last name?
Harden.
Yes, ma'am. The rules only give 3 minutes for
Right,
speaking.
right. My husband is here
Is
too.
next- Okay, so who's the next speaker?
The next speaker I have is Marie Terry.
What's your husband's
What's your
name?
husband's name?
Elliot Harden.
Elliot Harden. You see him on the list?
Well, I don't really need to say anything else.
If you have more time on it.
I don't have Elliot Harvey.
Okay.
Okay, the only other thing I need to say is that, you know, these seems like people, sometimes they're just spending the night, you know,
So, Ms.
I mean, this is
Harden.
a 7-bedroom house.
I understand, and I want to be fair to everyone
Right.
who signed up to speak and to you as a speaker.
Okay.
But our rules only allow 3 minutes, and then
Okay.
someone else can give you their time, which is why I was asking you about your husband. But if you like, you can share those pictures with the city clerk, the young lady right there, and she'll pass them to us so that we can see them.
Okay.
And then you also can email any additional comments that you have to
Okay.
the city clerk or to any of us.
Okay, we're
Okay.
just asking for help.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Miss Marie Terry.
Good evening,
Evening.
city councils and mayor. It's been a while since I've been here, but it's good to see all you guys. I want to tell you how I really enjoyed the back to school at Sykes Park, wonderful. At Impact, wonderful. Here at City Hall, I really enjoyed that one, very giving. Even the parents was excited. At Martial Home, of course, I enjoyed that. My thing is, I want to talk about respect. Respect goes a long way. If you give it, you will receive it. And I think that everybody here on this council should respect each other. Everybody, regardless of who you are and whose you are. I think that every city council, even the city manager, y'all need to respect every council member, and as well as the council member need to respect you. Now, I had the liberty to go to Martell Homes, and I just want to know, I talk with a lot of residents. Now, I'm a resident myself. I go to have fun with the kids. What I don't like is, I don't like how once you guys can go and talk to the city manager. I wish that all you guys would be as a group when you speak with the city manager. I didn't think there was any privacy with the city manager by himself. I didn't think there was any lunch with the city manager by himself. But I have times to go to some meetings, some neighborhood meetings, where one city council is saying, well, I'll talk to the city manager. I have talked with the city manager. I figure you all are all 8 council members, and I look for you guys to be one big family and respect each other. You have something to do for each and every neighborhood. It's not being done like that. Having dinner with the city manager, I don't think that's correct. In each meeting that I've been through, I've had, and I must say this, I've had Councilman Sean Atkins say, I spoke with the city manager. I've had dinner with the city manager. Not we all had dinner with the city manager, just I have. And there's other things that's going on, y'all. If y'all gonna be transparency, truthful, and honesty, this is what we need in this city. This is what respect. We need that respect. And I look for y'all to give that respect. I hope no one else is meeting privately with that city manager. I don't even know if that's even part of the charter to meet privately. And then to come privately to our neighborhood meetings and meet privately with our presidents. I think every neighborhood association, every resident should know what's going on in their neighborhood. They should know the opinion, and the city council should know what they want and what they need. It's not about you guys, it's about the residents. Nothing is done in secret, everything is transparent. So I appreciate it for the respect from the city manager, for every city council, and I appreciate that all you city council respect each other. Let's stop all this private stuff. We need to be on one accord if we're going to serve these residents. Y'all have a great day.
Up next, we have Mr. Ralph Berry, and Ms. Ruth Fleming gave him her time, so he'll have 6 minutes.
I'm Ralph Berry from 2502 Jefferson Terrace in Ward B. 4 years ago, cyber criminals hacked into the email of 3 East Point employees, sent messages using the city manager's account, and convinced our finance department to wire them $1 million. 2 years ago, the public found out. What everyone wanted to know was how it could have happened. And there were 3 answers. The first was that someone in the city must have been involved, and that an insider had cooperated with the thieves. There was a lot of finger pointing. The second was that city employees might not be involved, but they'd certainly been gullible. People called for better training, especially in how to recognize phishing scams. The third answer was less sensational, but more depressing. It was that members of our finance department had just been careless. They'd taken shortcuts, had bypassed the controls in our accounting system. To find out which answer was right, council voted to conduct a forensic audit. And this week, 4 years after the theft, that audit is complete. We now know that no evidence of any employee's involvement was ever found, and that our city workers are no more gullible than the rest of us. The auditor's judgment is clear. It was just carelessness. When employees in our finance department received an invoice for professional services rendered and asking for $198,000, and then a second asking for $297,000, and then a third for $289,000, and then a fourth for $434,000. In each case, they set up the wire transfer and sent the money. Nobody bothered to authenticate the vendor. to make sure the wire was going where the invoice claimed, to ask what these professional services were, or to check the email instructions with the sender. If we ask how it could have happened, the report's answer is, and now I'm quoting, "Typical accounting controls for changing vendor information were not followed, resulting in the disbursement of funds to a fraudulent bank account." End of story. Only it's not the end. In fact, it's only the beginning of what the auditor found and is in the report. $11 million in capital assets the auditors weren't sure actually existed. Repeated purchases on the city credit card for which there are no receipts or any other form of documentation. Checks that the bank flagged as fraudulently altered, but that the city went ahead and paid. 33 checks for over $200,000 that were never entered into the city's checkbook. No systematic, consistent, or timely procedure for balancing the city's checkbook. An increase of $844,000 in the electric fund with no record of where the money went. $130,000 paid to a former councilman for services supposedly performed by volunteers. An outstanding utility bill of over $13,000 at the address where a current council member resides, as well as unexplained adjustments of earlier bills at the same address. And perhaps most unsettling of all, the acknowledgement by a senior official in the finance department that she didn't know the city had a policy on conflicts of interest. I don't believe there's a person in this room who would entrust $5 to any financial institution as careless with money as our city is. When 2 years ago, council confronted the public's outcry, it did the right thing. It voted unanimously to order a forensic audit. Now it has the audit. So I am calling on council to do the right thing again. Schedule for an upcoming meeting a thorough public presentation of all the audit's findings, and don't waste time explaining or making excuses. Instead, spell out in detail for the public exactly how council is going to implement each one of the auditor's recommendations. 4 years is too long. This story has got to end.
Up next, we have Ms. Sharon Lovett.
Okay. Who's next?
Ms. Sharon Lovett.
Okay.
Mayor, City Council, good evening. Sharon Lovett, 2830 DeLoe Drive. The streets are talking. We want to know what was the purpose of changing the who controls or oversees the WWD. The budget was approved with all of the events included. We happy about that. But the city manager makes $203,000, which is great, and has more authority than the city clerk. So why does the city manager have to bring this back to the council for approval for each and every WWD? The clerk didn't have to do that. Make it make sense, okay? So that's not being efficient. But the streets are talking, and the word is that people want different kinds of music like country and reggae. Okay, the WWD normally has R&B, hip-hop, and a little jazz. So why do we have to change? Only events that they have in East Point, the salsa is Latino music. The Elevated Rhythms, house music. XL, house music. Day of the Dead, Latino music. Drag Down South, pop and rock. Strings on the Green, that's classical. None of them have country, which I don't want to hear no country anyway. But I can listen to some reggae, but not country. So why do we have to change? But the streets are talking. And why was that forensic audit done and sent to Ms. Pittman by city council members? And why did council give her this information and she put it out in an email referencing this audit? So why is council also targeting another council mother, a senior citizen that's disabled, residents, over an old utility bill? That was years ago. So, you know, that doesn't have anything to do with the city's financial matters. If you want to bring up some old stuff, then bring up some of them trips that some of y'all been on that we paid for, because the city, the taxpayers' dollars paid for a lot of trips that were swept under the rug, okay? And last but not least, okay, and no, the city manager, you can give a little bit more respect to the city council members when they send you emails, because that's out on the street too, and you just got here, okay? So, but last but not least, please do something about code enforcement. You only see them ride up and down Delow Drive. They don't stop or anything. People aren't cutting their grass. I know it's raining now because mine need cutting too. But these people don't cut it at all. And some of their hedges are up to the roof, which is unacceptable. And they parking day and night on the grass, but nobody's doing anything about it. Thank you.
Up next, we have Ms. Andrea Caldwell.
Good evening, council members. My name is Andrea Caldwell. I am a resident of Ward D, 4328 Savannah Lane in the Savannah Walk community. I'm here tonight, one, to bring up or continue to bring up concerns with the Microsoft development. In recent news, they've recently cleared off the land directly across the street from the data site. From what I understand, the land was cleared and it is intended for Georgia Power to install high voltage transmission lines, likely to support the substations that are across the street built by Microsoft. It brings up some of the same concerns. One, from a health and safety perspective, these transmission lines will also emit EMF into the air, which is deeply troubling for people who live less than 200 feet away from the data center. The consistent or continued infrastructure strains, we've seen a ton of congestion already by the site, now going from one side of the street to the other side of the street. And this is even more concerning with the thought of Greystar, the newly approved warehouse that's planning to go to Ben Hill Road next door to the Microsoft project and build 40 truck bays nearby. It's just hard to imagine with the current infrastructure of Ben Hill Road, just two streets, how we'll be able to take on additional traffic from all of the different projects. And then the last thing goes back to property values. This is one of the reasons that I started to come out 2 years ago and talk about how the Microsoft data centers will negatively impact our property values. There are studies that show that living so close to substations and transmission lines can reduce property values up to 30%. So my question is, mainly for the people that have supported these projects since day one, what type of infrastructure expansion have you planned or are you thinking about specifically for Ben Hill Road to support all of the developments that are coming? And then in regards to the transmission lines that are across the street, that will cross over the street, that we have to drive under daily, Can the city reopen discussions with Microsoft and Georgia Power and revisit any design plans and possibly explore how we can make this look better visually so it doesn't have as much of a negative impact to our property values? Thank you.
Up next, we have Mr. Michael Cooper.
Good evening. My name is Michael Cooper. I reside at 3704 L Circle. I'm here in reference to the L Circle project that has been completed. I was asking that they increase the height of the speed bumps because we still have people zooming down L Circle. I go running every morning, 4 a.m. The lighting is poor. I get close calls all the time. I don't run down the middle of the street. I stay to the side, but there's still cars that's parked on the street. So sometimes I have to run closer to the middle, but not exactly in the middle of the street. And there's poor lighting. Also, I'm requesting a stop sign at that North Desert Drive and L Circle intersection. I've been told that they're saying that there's no need for a stop sign at North Desert turning on the L. Then why is there a stop sign from L turning on the North Desert if it doesn't go nowhere? That's it. Thank you.
Up next, we have Ms. Phyllis Jackson Smith.
Good evening, City Council, Mayor. My name is Phyllis Jackson Smith, and I reside in Meadowlark Estates subdivision at 2995 Meadowlark. And I really wanted to just comment briefly on two items. One is Winston Wind Down, and the other one is Image. And I'm saying Image because East Point, and I want to give thanks to Mayor Ingram and to members of City Council for improving East Point's image over the years. There was a period of time when unfortunately people would turn to the cable channel and watch our city council meetings for entertainment purposes, and it wasn't favorable. I'm hoping that we are not going to move back into that era. When you have new people who come into staff, and this is in any workplace setting, there sometimes can be an attempt to divide by having a few of them pull that person aside and then kind of surreptitiously give them their agenda for what's going to take place. I think that, I'm hoping that the city will continue to collaborate with each other, meaning the city council members and the mayor, in a cohesive manner. Everybody is not going to always disagree. You have disagreements in marriages, you have disagreements in friendships, but agree to disagree in a very amicable way so that it doesn't become a, what should I say, almost like a comical reaction, or that we don't become a caricature for the media, and that we don't have others looking at us as a laughing stock, because that has happened in the past, and I hope that we don't devolve into that again. The other comment I wanted to have is about Winston Wind Down. I think that has been such a plus and a positive thing for the city of East Point. I regret that due to health challenges, I haven't been able to attend the way that I typically would, but I get so many positive responses, even from my Gray Panthers, I should say. So we truly enjoy it. I hope you all continue. And I really, really pray that you all will work together, that you will come together, whatever it takes. If it takes going on a retreat to do team building like they used to do, and like I used to have to do with the youth when I was working with them as a clinical social worker, do something. But please continue to upgrade the image of our city. Thank you.
Lastly, we have Councilperson Helen Willis.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just here to say thank you. Thank you for working with our staff, public works staff, and our city manager and our attorney to get this bifurcation agreement finally done. And Dr. Talbot was going to come today, but I told him since the weather was so nasty, not to bring his special needs son out. And I will come and just make sure that, you know, if you all had any questions, when the vote came up, I'm here to answer your questions. Thank you very much. This is how two cities neighboring each other are supposed to work. We have other issues coming up. We have an easement that we'll be coming to you all for, and you all have a zoning coming to us. And we didn't ask for this. It's just the way it worked out once we became a city in 2017, and we got a lot of jagged borders, and we're going to have these issues that come up from time to time. So thank you for being professional and working with us. This is how neighbors are supposed to exist. Thank you.
Those are all the public comments we have this evening.
Thank you so much. Next, we have comments from council. I think it's 2 minutes each, so if you could do a timer for that if we have speakers. Comments from council. My screen isn't working. Hold on. I don't know if someone is here from IT. So I'll just start to my left. Councilmember Butler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone that's here. We really do appreciate you being here. Looking forward to celebrating some people too. I would like to start with Ms. Harding, on McCoy Avenue. I am sure that your ward representatives are concerned about what you see. There are some questions that I have. For example, that we do not allow boarding houses in East Point. I don't see her if she's still here. So if that's an issue, then we're definitely going to address that. You have a Ward C and a local representative, and I'm sure they'll be happy to meet with you at some point in time. And I support their efforts to make sure we get code enforcement to address some of those issues, so nobody should have to live next door to someone where there's a corporation renting to people that aren't being good neighbors. So I definitely want to acknowledge that. Mr. Berry, I agree with you 100%. We've had these questions before. 4 years is far too long, and I was surprised that we did not have that presentation today. However, staff just got the presentation, just got the audit recently, and they are going through it. And I'm definitely wanting to make sure that the public sees what you presented, because the public should know. And some of those facts are alarming. You know, I can't speak for anyone else, but I'm sure they agree. We want to make sure that we have a very transparent city council. And where we make mistakes, we need to acknowledge them, and we need to improve on those. And if we're not doing that in a very transparent way, then we're not doing what we're elected to do. So I know my commitment is to make sure that we acknowledge those faults and that we solve those problems quickly. I'm sorry.
Next up is 2 minutes per the recent amendment to the ordinance. Is it 2 minutes? Yeah.
When did that happen?
When we adopted the amendment to the ordinance, moving public comments up and council comments next. It's 2 minutes. Councilmember Cummings.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you for everyone that has come out this evening for this meeting, and those that are viewing live stream as well. And to Ms. Hardin over in McCoy Place, I will definitely make sure that we get in contact with you to make sure that we do address these concerns. I think Chief Buchanan, they may have a representative from the police department that may be able to kind of get some information from you right now. Mr. Berry. And just to all members, all members that are here, to everyone that's here this evening, we definitely have to do better, and we are going to do better. You guys need to continue to hold us accountable. We are a family, just as I've said many times before. It's dysfunctional at times, yet we are still a family. We don't always agree on everything, and sometimes you have to agree to disagree and be respectful about it and continue to move forward, because at the end of the day, it's not about us, it's about you, the residents here, the city of East Point. It's not always easy sitting in this space. I've definitely learned that. I'm still learning as each day goes by, but I mean, we're going to continue, you know, to make sure that we do right by the residents here at East Point. So just, we're making changes. We're trying to put ourselves in the right, make sure that we're in the right space and we're moving in the right direction to answer a lot of the questions that I know that the residents do have. So just, we'll do better. We're going to do better. I also want to make an announcement. Tuesday, August 26, 2025, we will be having our Ward C community meeting. It's going to be at Victory Baptist Church. I have to pull up the address, I'm sorry. But it's going to be at Victory Baptist Church, and it's from 6:30 to 8:30. And I'd also like to thank everyone that came out for the book bag giveaway. Thank you to my church family, Word of Faith Love Center, as well as representatives from Arrington and Phillips that helped support us in this effort. We were able to give out a lot of book bags. Thank you. I yield.
Either of you? Either Councilmember Martin, Mitchell? You have any comments?
No.
Okay. Councilmember Atkins?
Yes. Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would also like to thank all of the residents who have come out tonight. Thank you for all of your comments. Just as my colleagues have stated, these are matters that we do take seriously, and I am confident that we will get them addressed. As my colleagues have also stated, and I'll also reemphasize that while we don't always agree on everything, I think it is very important, as Ms. Smith said, for us to make sure that we present in such a way with decorum and professionalism. And so I know that I'm committed to that, and I think that my colleagues are also. So I think that we'll be able to get those things addressed, many of the issues that you've brought forward this evening. I would also like to thank all of the families and children who came out to the Back to School Bash this past Saturday at Impact Church. Thank you so much for supporting. In addition to the families and students, all of the volunteers that came out to help us make it a very successful day. We completely gave out all of our backpacks, had a lot of interactive activities for the kids, and so I'm hoping that they start at school today feeling well prepared to learn. So happy to support that. And would also say, I know that Ms. Terry had mentioned myself individually as having dinner with the city manager. She is absolutely correct. The city manager has offered that to not only myself, but to every member sitting here. He has instituted Breaking with the Bread and has stated that any member of this body, and including the mayor, could have breakfast, lunch, or dinner with him on his dime to talk about any issues that we think are important, any ideas, or any of those things. And so it has not been something that I have done in secret. As Ms. Terry has mentioned to you, I have talked about this in meetings when citizens have brought up issues and I've responded to some of their concerns. Those are meetings that she has attended herself and has also recorded. So there's nothing secret about that. It is an initiative that the city manager has started, and so I was glad that he did, and I took him up on that offer, and it is an offer that was made to every member of this body. So I'll say that, and I'll also state that as it relates to the audit, Mr. Berry, I think that the city manager is working through responses to that audit, and I also think that the body will have a presentation. Thank you.
Councilmember Martin Rogers?
Thank you. And I need, Madam City Clerk, can you bring up the pictures that I sent, please? Thank you. All right. Who's gonna? Yeah. Thanks.
Let's start talking. You're on the clock.
All right, first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone that came out to the Teacher Back to School Supply Drive, which was a success. Teachers in East Point took advantage of this opportunity. Thank you for the volunteers, the members of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, residents of Ward D, and our faith-based community. I just wanted to say very briefly, for those of you all that recently voted for the Gray Star Warehouse to come into the Ward D community, not only has the current project taken up 132 acres, across the street from that, land was recently cleared for Georgia Power, and they have cleared an additional 32 acres. So when residents come before council to discuss the impact of another warehouse, please believe them, because this is what we have to deal with. I was on the phone with Georgia Power. Those 32 acres are being cleared for this. You can scroll up and down. This is the site of the current project, and across the street from that, the other 32 acres. You can keep going, and this is what that looks like, and it should be one more slide, Madam City Clerk. All right, this is what they have cleared so far across the street from the Microsoft project. So, communication protocol with the city manager. Through extensive research, I found a troubling pattern. The communication protocol is not being implemented with fidelity. And when it comes to my communications, for instance, the city manager immediately responds to emails from the Ward A, Ward B, Ward A at large, Ward C, both members, almost immediately or within 24 hours. However, I've sent numerous emails concerning, no, not A at large, concerning the residents that I represent, dating as far back as April and still are outstanding to this day. So what is the difference? Are certain residents and council members more important than others? Our city manager is the highest paid city manager in the city of East Point. He should be encouraged to uphold all ordinances and policies.
All right, Councilmember Ziegler. Councilmember Shropshire. I was going this way and then coming back.
First of all, I want to say thank you all for coming out to voice your concerns. And as to the resident in McCoy Place, the city, there should be no rooming house in the city of East Point. There's only one legal rooming house, and that was on Chinese Street. Any other thing is illegal, and I've voiced this several times because we have an illegal rooming house on Delowe. And I've said it many a times that if code enforcement could do something about it. And as far as the dog, if they're running loose, please call the animal control, because all dogs should be kept on a leash or in a included area and not supposed to be running loose. Secondly, once again, I thank you all for coming out to speak up and voice your concerns in reference to Wednesday wind down and other things. As for the audit, I think there should be transparency, and I was one of the ones who said allow due process to take its place when at the time, former city manager and staff was being accused of doing something. And I still believe that people should allow due process to take its place. It is sad and unfortunate that this body talks about working together and getting along, but yet they continue to do malicious things to attack people personally, assassinate their characters, and everything else. So I feel that one should always practice what they preach, because there was a time when the city was facing dark times, and that was in 2013 and before. But I say, if you want to work together, practice what you preach. And on this note, everybody wasn't asked to go to lunch or dinner with the city manager. Thank you.
We got to wrap up. Councilmember Mitchell, did you have something? All right, you can start the time for me as well. So thank you to everyone who volunteered. Thank you to our Office of Equity, Inclusion, and Empowerment for the back to school and health check, I believe it was the sponsor of that. And they had, things that you would never think about. We had school supplies, the traditional school supplies, but we also had hand sanitizer, wipes, diapers, makeup. Like they had food, a whole bunch of different items to help people, students prepare for school. I know we had 2 other back to school drives in the city as well at Impact and Sykes Park to help make sure that our students start the year off prepared and ready to learn and thrive. So thank you for all of those events. As it relates to the forensic audit, as we've done with previous audits, it is expected that will be presented. So my question to the city manager, not to use my time right now, but when have you reached out to the forensic auditor for a presentation? And I'd like to know tonight what dates, or if you all have talked about when the forensic auditor will be coming to the city to present the audit. Yes, we did do the audit. There are some findings, and we need to make sure we follow through with that, as we did with the previous audit. So I'd like to know if you've had communication about that. I know you sent us some communication about the audit, but I didn't see any communication about working with the auditor to come present to the council during the council meeting, that audit, as well as how it's made available to the public. Thank you to everyone who spoke tonight. I always say that you all expect us to be respectful up here, and you all respect us as well. It's a two-way street, and we have the civility pledge in council chambers as a reminder. And we can always agree to disagree, but we don't have to be disagreeable. And oftentimes debate brings about great decisions. We will now move to presentations. First up is the City of East Point Next Generation Acknowledgement. Councilmember Martin Rogers.
Excuse me, Madam Mayor.
And
I'm
thank
sorry, you can't see me. Are we making announcements after or before presentation?
We're done.
So generally we make them after. So if we can, we have quite a few presentations, but just remind me and go back around for announcements. Councilmember Martin Rogers.
Thank you, and not to belabor this point, but I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank council just for their input with our Next Generation internship program. I also want to thank the Human Resources Department, Mrs. Jessie, who was mainly responsible for ensuring that students in East Point and right here in our city, our local high schools did have the opportunity for an internship program. I also would like to thank the men of intelligence, the Planning and Zoning Department, Human Resources Department, and the Water Department. I got my start at a summer job in the local city that I lived in. From 10th grade up until I went away to college, I had that same job every summer in the city manager's office, where I'm originally from in Delray Beach, Florida, and the impact of just having somewhere to go during the summer and make money and learn a skill definitely helped bridge that gap when I entered the workforce. So I'm going to turn it back over to our mayor to acknowledge those students and their parents tonight. And I just want to say thank you so much for spending your summer right here in East Point, where there's no point like East Point. Thank you.
Thank you to our HR department for coordinating and making sure that we continue our internship program and that we provide opportunities to exposure to the operations of government and the different types of professions or things that you can do within our government. We have a lot of amazing opportunities, and so congratulations to the students who took advantage of this opportunity this summer. And I believe some of them are here tonight along with their parents. And so what we're going to do is when I call your name, if you're here, just you and your parents stand up. And then after we're done, I'll allow council to share any comments if they like, and then we'll come down and take a picture with all of you. So I'm going to call the names in alphabetical order, and we have a certificate of recognition. City of East Point proudly presents this certificate of recognition in appreciation of your outstanding contributions as a valued participant of the City of East Point Next Generation Summer Internship Program. And so each participant who's here will get one, and those who aren't here will make sure that they receive their certificate. So Joshua Burrow. Kamal Hills. Tony Nico Clark Jr. Michaela Edwards. Unique Brown. Tyshawn Williams. Kaylee Arnold. Marcus Rouse. Garrison Grimes. So as you all can tell, they're not in alphabetical order. I thought they were, but I do know my alphabet. How about that? Addison Griggs. John Bundridge. And Shakira Johnson. All right, I will open it up to council members if anyone would like to make it. Screen, my, what do you call this? Screen is not working. Okay. I'm going to
Yes, I would like to say thank you to the interns who participated, did an excellent job. We heard nothing but good things about you, and we hopefully this experience helps you with your college career and takes you very far in life. Thank you so much for your contribution to the city.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and I'd just like to say congratulations to all of the participants. Thank you, parents, because, without you, you were the ones that got the kids here, made sure that that they did attend like they were supposed to. So I just want to congratulate you all on your accomplishments, and echoing some of the things that Councilmember Butler said. Hopefully, you guys learned a lot, and you'll be able to take this in your career if you're still in high school or once you guys start college. Thank you.
Councilmember Atkins.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to say also congratulations to all of the summer interns. And there's one thing to start something, but it's a complete different thing to finish it. And the fact that you're here this evening means that you stayed the course and you finished the program. So congratulations to you, and I wish you all the very best in this academic year.
Mayor, did you call David Alford?
That's what I was just about to do. I'm sorry. I was just looking over my list, and I just asked Councilmember Martin Rogers if I called David Alford Jr. Oh, okay. Please charge it to my head, not my heart, or my glasses, one of those things.
I wanted to make sure that he was called. This young man rode his bike for the interview. I saw him come up. I saw a person on a bike, and I thought, oh, okay, just somebody coming up. And they called from the reception desk to say that David Alford was present. So I went up, and it was David, and he had a suit on. And I said, didn't you ride your bike up here? He said, yes, ma'am. You brought your suit? Yes, ma'am. So he had enough fortitude and initiative and forethought to get up here, used his bike for transportation, changed clothes, and from that day, during the entire internship, he wore a tie and dress shirt. And he did that every day that he was an intern. So he is a football player. He's a member of, I think, several organizations, as are a lot of the interns. But I think we're in real good hands for our next generation. And I appreciate the council. I appreciate Councilmember Martin Rogers for bringing this initiative forward. And I'm sure it's only going to get bigger and better.
Well, thank you for that. And I guess I should have said the departments that they were in. So there were 4 Men of Intelligence, Planning, Human Resources, and the Water Department were the departments that had our summer interns. So thank you to HR, Ms. Jessie, Councilmember Martin Rogers, and to all of the departments that hosted our young professionals, our future, or our now. They're learning now how to continue to impact the future. And so at this point, we are going to invite everyone up for pictures. So the interns and their parents or family members or support system that's here with them tonight, you all can come up to the front. It's optional, so it's not a mandatory picture. Sometimes people don't like to take pictures. But this is an opportunity for a picture with mayor and council, and I'm looking for someone from communications. Oh, there you are. Okay, Jerry. Okay. So we are going to hear from the interns that would like to share with us this evening. No pressure. I asked them each individually. And if I didn't ask you and you would like to say a few words, feel free to come over to my right, your left, and join your other fellow interns. Shakira?
Hello, everyone. I attend Alabama A&M University. I will be a second semester junior in the fall, and I am actually a finance major. So I had the ability to experience human resources in the finance department, and I really enjoyed that. I got to work with Excel spreadsheets and basically see everyday tasks of both departments, and I really enjoyed that. Thank you for the opportunity as well. Thank you.
You left your certificate up here. Hi, my name is John Bunchich. I go to Tri-Cities, and I was in the water and sewage department for this internship, and it was a really good experience because I've always been interested in politics and in government departments, and working in this kind of gave me a glimpse into how that was. I was able to kind of view how, I don't know if this is a right word, I was kind of able to view how the workers in the department did with sewage and water, and how like the average, how the average, I guess, I don't know if proletariat is the right word, but like the average worker who's working in these type of departments would. And I think that was a really good experience for me. It was also my first job, just in general, not just in this type of field. And I think it was a really good experience. And I would do it again because, you know, it's really tied into my interests, because I do want to work in government someday, because I plan on majoring in sociology and political science. But yeah.
Hey, my name's Garrison. I'm a rising senior at Landmark Christian School in Fairburn, and this is also kind of my first job. It was just a great experience. I was able to meet a lot of great people. Wednesdays were always fun. Every day was fun, especially Wednesdays with Christian and them going out and doing stuff with the water meters. It was really fun, and I learned a lot of new things, and it was a great experience.
Hey, my name is David Alford. I attend Riverwood International Charter School. And I just want to thank you for the experience, working in the HR department, being able to work in the behind the scenes of the city. I haven't done much for the city, but I've been looking for opportunities. So finding an opportunity like this was pretty special. So I want to thank you again, and I hope to do it again next year for my freshman year.
Hi, my name is Kaylee Arnold. I'm a senior at Tri-Cities High School. I just wanted to say thank you for giving me this opportunity. I also wanted to say thank you to the Planning and Community Development Department for giving me this opportunity. I wanted to compliment how good of a team they are and how great they work together. And all together, I just wanted to say thank you. This is a great opportunity for me going out into college, figuring out what I want to do. This is great exposure to the work field. And thank you.
Hello, my name is Marcus Riles. I just graduated from Tri-Cities High School. I was Mr. Tri-Cities last year, so I'm going on to Savannah State University, majoring in visual and performing arts. I was with the Planning and Development Community Department. I got the chance to review permit applications in different zonings, and also create an events for the Planning and Community Department and take headshots for them. So it was an amazing experience. I just want to thank you all for allowing us to come and do this and learn from you guys. Because I had this game, it was called City Skylines, where I did the same thing. So it was like, it was really fun for me, and thank you. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for your interest and your time given to our city this summer and the learning that you've experienced. We look forward to staying. You're forever connected to us, and so remember this experience as you move forward. Also for future opportunities, and tell others about it so that we can get more people connected to government and the work of government. So thank you all so very much, and thank you to the parents. who supported them and allowed them to participate and work this summer in the great city of East Point, where there's no point like East Point. Thank you all so much. Next up is our 2025 Healthy Point Grand Incentive winners. Yes. So this is, I think, our 6th or 7th year. We had the most registrants ever. This year we had 358 people register to participate in the Healthy Point. And so the incentives that they earned were for one activity for 6 weeks. They received the Healthy Point insulated tote bag, like a lunch bag. We had 93 people receive that incentive this year. The next incentive was for 2 activities for 8 weeks, and that was a Healthy Point signature gym bag. We had 44 people receive that incentive this year. Then for the 3 activities for 10 weeks, they received a signature, I should have brought it. I should have brought some of these things so you could see them, right? The signature Healthy Point Stanley Cup, 40-ounce Stanley Cup. And we had 29 people receive that incentive. And then the top incentive earned was for persons who participated in 4 activities for 12 weeks. And they received a $100 gift card that was not purchased with city funds. They were purchased by sponsors. The money didn't come to the city. We didn't pay for it. They gave us the gift card. So let me say that all on the record and say it slowly. But a $100 gift card, and there will be a dinner catered by our Tri-Cities High School Culinary Department. And they also received a year free membership to our Parks and Recreation gym, to our Jefferson Recreation gym. So we have a new gym with new equipment and all of those things. I said not new gym, new equipment in our gym. And so they have a free membership. That's a $75 value. And tonight, a part of that is also being recognized at council meeting. And so our Healthy Point activities included Walkaholics, which is walking our model mile on our East Point path. It included yoga, Pilates, total body workout, dynamic duo, chair fitness classes, healthy movie nights, cooking demonstrations every week, 5K run walk. We also did mental wellness, because we all have a right to have a healthy mind. Oftentimes when we talk about our mind, we talk about mental illness, having a sickness versus being well. And so we had financial literacy, so very holistic around health this year as well. And we had Kids Zone twice this year, where we had a day for kids who learned they had a cooking demonstration themselves. They had bounce house food and fun and games. And so we are so excited that the program continues to go on, and look forward to the Parks and Recreation Department continuing this as we move forward. But we had 20 people earn the top incentive of participating in 4 activities for 12 weeks. And their names are, and as I call your name, feel free to come up to the podium. Vernette Banks, Stephen Bulch, Edith Borders, Sylvia Breland, Fan Childs, Suzette Gooch, Deborah Johnson, Lena Lewis, Maggie McCullum, Leonitra Moore, Linda Roberts, Lisa Robinson, Maisha Smiley, Evelyn Teague, Joshna Vanapali, Deborah Washington, Gloria Webb, Brenda White, Troy Williams, and Evelyn Wright. So come on down. And so the amazing part about this is I see Suzette Gooch and Joshna Vanapali were with us in our very first Healthy Point 7 years ago. I think, Ms. Gooch, you've done it how many years? 6 years. So this must be my 6th year, not 7. It's 6. We skipped COVID. That's what it was. 6 years she's been participating every year. Let's give it up for Ms. Gooch. Who else has participated multiple years? Yes, Edith? Come on, come on. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Yes, come on around. If y'all could just say how many years you participated. If you've done multiple years. 2 years. Edith Borders is counting. 6 every year. 5. 3. 2. 2. Okay. Look at these multiple. I love it. And we always say being healthy is not a size, it's a lifestyle. And this is about helping us make better lifestyle choices. We've had the Morehouse School of Medicine with the health, what do we call the art exhibition? That really talked about health equity and our journey and the experiences within this. And I won't share for them, but there are people who have been on this journey with us who have definitely had improved health outcomes, addressed some chronic illnesses. And I want to say thank you for your constant participation. And if either of you, any of you would like to say anything, you can at this time. We will come down and take a picture. You all should have received your gift card, Recreation Center membership card. If not, Shalord Pinkett is right there over in the corner. He has them. He'll check you off if you haven't received that. And then the gift cards will be given out at our dinner. When hopefully that we're scheduling that this month. School just started today. And so we're working with Chef Cheryl in the culinary department to coordinate that. So would anyone like to share anything at this time? No pressure. Okay. Oh, yes.
My name is Suzette Gooch, and I have participated for the 6 years. I'm 76, and it has been fun. I try to do a different exercise all the time. Yoga, Pilates, the gym over there where we do the weights, where they show us how to use the equipment. So that was really fun this year. We had somebody that was there to show us how to use the equipment. So when we won this prize, we would know what to do. But it has been good, and I've met a lot of people. It's been fun.
Thank you, thank you. Anyone else? Well, our goal is to make health accessible, attainable, and fun, and build community along the way. So again, thank you all for participating. And Healthy Point is a year-long initiative. Council approved that several years ago, so we'll be working with other organizations to plan monthly health activities to keep us connected, because it's a daily journey, 365 days. We don't get to stop on our health journey. So thank you all so much. We're going to come down and take a picture now.
Come on over here, come on.
She say I'm going to do it every year. Every year. I was. Every year. I lied. Say I'm going to do something. We just been lying. Still fat.
Oh. And I played pickleball for the first time with this sibling group right here. What's your name again? AC. AC was my partner in pickleball, and we played against his sisters, Arizona, and Mina, and me and AC won. But it was fun. Oh, so they also participated. So it's a multi-generational activity, and thank you to their mom for allowing me to play with them. I just noticed. Acceleron Software Initiative from East Point Power.
Hi, good evening, Mayor and Council, City Manager. So tonight we have a project called Acceleron, pay as you go, that type of stuff. And tonight we have Alicia Persons, the project manager, and Senior Director of Sales from Acceleron, Darren Rayburn.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of council. My name is Alicia Persons, and I am the project manager for East Point Power. This evening, we're here to introduce the Acceleron PayGo program, a collaborative initiative between East Point Power, the Finance Department, and Customer Care. For the purposes of our local implementation, we are referring to the program as Point Pay. This initiative is designed to offer a more flexible, customer-focused utility payment option for the residents of East Point. Tonight's presentation is intended to provide an overview of the program. I'm pleased to have Mr. Darren Rayburn here with us this evening to assist in answering any product-specific questions about PayGo that you may have. However, because this effort involves multiple departments, there may be questions related to finance or customer care that neither of us can fully address at this time. Our goal tonight is to present the concept, hear your questions and feedback, and take those comments back to the appropriate teams. We will then return before council with full responses and a formal request for approval of the program. Acceleron leads the market in prepaid utility services, helping over 2 million customers across 24 states manage their utility costs. They power the top 5 largest prepaid programs in North America, showcasing their expertise in making a real difference for utilities and customers alike. A few examples of their clients. We're all familiar with Georgia Power. SRP is a community-based, not-for-profit organization providing reliable, affordable, and sustainable water and energy to more than 2 million people in central Arizona. Santee Cooper is South Carolina's largest water and power utility, and JEA is the 8th largest utility-owned company in the USA. This program is making a real impact. Rolled out across 80 utilities, it recovered 80% of overdue payments in year 1 and hit 95% in year 2. Customers can roll overdue balances up to $1,000 into their payments, helping them to catch up. So far, over $100 million has been recovered, proving its success. Prepay is about affordability and energy equity. It does not discriminate based on income, geography, home ownership status, or any other customer characteristic. It is equitable, open, optional, and available to everyone with a smart meter as long as their local utility offers it. Prepaid energy services give users control over budgets, flexible billing, and lower costs with no deposits or fees. Real-time feedback encourages smarter use and savings, while gradual payments aid debt management. Transparency and convenience drive high customer satisfaction. Prepaid energy keeps users aware of their balance, making energy feel like something to conserve and not just use. Watching it shrink creates a sense of loss, encouraging smarter choices and less waste. This mindset shift helps customers stay mindful and in control of their usage. Prepaid services fit every lifestyle. Recently migrated individuals love the control and cash payment options. Millennials and Gen Z prefer pay-as-you-go for its simplicity and mobile-friendly access. Wealthy households use it to manage utilities for college kids, rentals, and remote properties. Low-income households enjoy no security deposits, flexible payments, and better budgeting. Eco-conscious consumers can track energy in real time, save more, and connect with renewables. Keeping customers informed and engaged is key to great service. Personalized communication builds trust by addressing their specific needs, while customizable alerts keep them updated on outages, billing, and more. We can use push notifications, SMS, and voice calls that can ensure messages reach them how they prefer. And bulk messaging makes it easy to share important updates with everyone quickly and efficiently. Paying is easy. Customers can use credit, debit, or cash via checkout by PayGo. Whether postpay or prepay, they can make real-time payments through the mobile app or customer portal. Plus, with 175,000 locations, including Kroger, Family Dollar, Walmart, and CVS, there's no need for them to call customer care or wait in line. They can stop by a store and load their account on the spot. So, why PayGo for East Point? East Point currently has over $280,000 in utility debt. That is more than 90 days past due. Many of our customers are struggling to manage old balances while trying to keep up with current bills. The program that we have currently dubbed as Point Pay would give us a way to recover some of that bad debt, especially when former customers move back into the city still owing a previous balance. Since we don't currently use a collection agency, these programs give us much-needed visibility into who owes what, and allows us to track and recover those funds more effectively. Point Pay would also help by splitting each payment. 75% goes towards their current usage, while 25% goes toward paying off old debt. Once the old balance is cleared, 100% of the payments would go toward usage, making it a consistent and automated way to collect what's due. Point Pay also helps prevent unauthorized power use, which is a common issue when new tenants move into rental properties before the previous account is properly closed. Once the previous balance is gone, power shuts off, so a new tenant can't run up usage under the old tenant's name. One of the biggest operational advantages is reducing after-hours reconnection work. Right now, if someone were to get disconnected after 5 p.m., they would have to pay and then call us, and an employee would either reconnect them manually or we would send out a truck. With Point Pay, once the payment is made through the app, online, or at any of the 175,000 retail locations, the system automatically reconnects them using our AMI system. This eliminates the need for after-hour staff calls and reduces overtime costs. How the program works. When a customer joins Point Pay, they first set up an account and they would load an initial payment, or what we would consider their deposit. As they use electricity, their balance would decrease. The system automatically would send alert via app or text when their funds run low. If their balance hits zero, the power would disconnect automatically to prevent unpaid usage. Customers can pay anytime online through the app or at thousands of retail locations. Once payment is received, power is restored remotely without needing a city employee to respond. This process makes managing payments easier for customers and reduces operational burdens for us. The pilot program, the approach that we would want to take for rolling out the Point Pay program. High debt customers first, chronic non-payers, city-partnered landlords and volunteer participants, apartment complexes with high turnover, and finally, senior residents on fixed incomes. We plan to start with a targeted pilot focusing on key customer groups who will benefit most and provide valuable feedback. Using a pilot allows us to fine-tune the process, address any challenges we may have, and demonstrate the program's effectiveness before expanding it citywide. This phased approach would help ensure a smoother transition for both customers and staff. And finally, what are the costs? The initial payment for the program is $15,000, which would cover the licensing fee, integration with our CIS system, and staff training. This cost is tentatively to be split between the water and electric departments. The program uses a tiered fee system with a minimum monthly cost of $2,000 to remain enrolled, which generally breaks down to about $6 monthly service fee per customer. We recommend passing this fee on to customers because the program offers several benefits: no required deposits, no late fees, no minimum payments needed to reconnect, no reconnection fees, and faster reconnections if service is interrupted. This structure helps make the program fairer and more convenient for customers while covering operational costs. That is the end of the presentation, and I'll take any questions you may have.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Any questions? Councilmember Ziegler?
Yes, thank you so much for your presentation. So I know last year you presented the Utility Hawk program. How would that work with this?
So Utility Hawk is just tracking when there's outages and that type of stuff. Let you know, hey, the power is out, when you can be restored, that type of stuff. This more so is acting as like a customer care agent. It accepts payments, that type of stuff. Utility Hawk doesn't do anything with monies.
Okay. And so you had said that that there's no security deposit with this, but I think that any of us who have had a utility bill here has had to put down a security deposit. So if we were to sign up for this program, would we get that security deposit back?
Yeah, the security. Hi, my name is Derek Rayburn. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. In all regards that we work with utilities around the country today, if they have a customer that's a pre-existing customer that has paid a utility deposit and they become a prepay or a point pay customer, that deposit gets applied directly to their account balance and becomes their starting account balance. So they're able to utilize that for their utility services immediately for that.
Okay. And so how would auto payment work? Because it kind of sounds like that you're paying ahead. You're putting, a balance in already, and then it's getting, whatever you have whatever you get charged for, it gets taken out from that. So like, how would automatic payments work?
That's a great question. So in the point pay situation, we don't necessarily call it auto pay, because auto pay normally is associated with a specific date or time in which you're going to make a payment if you're a traditional customer. We call it auto recharge. And what happens there is that customers are able to set a alert or a notice for themselves that says, when my account reaches a certain point, maybe I have $10 left in my account, which usually lasts a day or two for them, they can establish an auto recharge, which will, once that balance reaches that account, it will automatically add money to their account from their account that they have at the bank, or from a credit card, or however they normally pay that bill. So there is auto payment capabilities associated with that, that's usually driven by their account balance, not a specific date for that payment.
Okay.
Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. And is there any way with this program that people can set certain amounts, like if they want to only have $200, pay $200, or have some kind of a payment plan? Is that something that is capable of this?
Yes. And you'll find that most prepay participants or point and pay participants will pay on their account usually about once a week. That's normally what we see. We see three and a half times a month. That's the number. So really, it's kind of associated with the way people get paid. A lot of people get paid weekly, and so they want to put a balance on their account. They can do that. They can do it at any point. They can do it at any denomination, from $5 to $100 or whatever is set. We provide guidance to the utilities based on all of our customers that we have and what they have the most success in doing. We recommend that people, when their account gets to zero, that they at least put $25 in so that it carries them for a week or 5 days or something of that nature. That's the kind of guidance that we would provide for those.
Okay, and so if someone just wants to get a utility bill and then pay it when it's due, then they wouldn't be able to have this service? Is that?
If they're a traditional customer that is billed monthly, then they would stay and remain a traditional customer. This is an optional way for customers to pay who see that there's significant benefit in being able to manage their utility usage on a daily basis if they choose to do that. We have about 80,000 people in the Georgia Power Territory and surrounding areas that speak very highly and use that service often.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Atkins.
Yes, thank you so very much. And thank you for the presentation. So if I understand this correctly, one of the other differences from Utility Hawk is that this would be an app versus a web-based program, is that correct?
Yes, and Utility Hawk itself is kind of a general portal for the utility to share information about all types of things. Prepay customers would get to their specific prepay account through that Utility Hawk account. So they would log into their customer portal, the utility portal, and they would say, I'm a Point Pay customer, and when they click the Point Pay customer, it would take them to their account and their dashboard where they can see specific things related to managing their prepay balance.
Okay. And I guess I should have asked this first. You mentioned Point Pay. Is Point Pay, would that be the name that we would have because we're East Point, but the program is really PayGo? Is that correct?
PayGo was a company name at some point. Acceleron and PayGo are now the largest providers in North America. Point Pay is specific to East Point, which is great. We really encourage that. I think it helps your citizens and your residents really embrace that for themselves, and I think you're going to find that they're going to be tremendously satisfied with that transparency of usage of data. You don't get to the end of the month and they go, well, why is my bill so big, right? They don't have an end of the month bill. It's a daily management of that account, and they get notified in whatever manner suits them best, whether it's a phone call that they want to receive from an IVR system, or maybe they want to receive a text message when something happens in their account. So it becomes a very efficient way for them to manage their utilities.
So it monitors usage and then applies?
Yes,
Okay.
we will be integrated into your AMI system and your customer information system, so we know what's happening with respect to their usage. And your AMI providers today have been longtime partners of ours, and so we have no risk as it relates to integrating to those systems.
All right, thank you. Those are my questions.
Councilmember Martin Roderick.
Thank you. And my first question is, how much of the cost will be passed on to customers? And over how long, what is the length of time?
So we haven't figured that out as yet, only that there's a $2,000 monthly fee for using this service. So we haven't figured out, that's why we want to do the pilot, to try and see exactly how many people are gonna really like this, or apply to become one of these customers. Because if we get 4,000 people signed up, then it'll be like 50 cents or something like that. Like, it would be something very minute that we're trying our best that the customer doesn't even see that there's a fee for using this.
All right, and then my last question is, what other municipalities are utilizing this platform, and what's been, I guess, said about it? Do you have that information?
Well, we have, as they indicated, 80 different cities and 24 states. We can certainly provide you a list of those customers if you would like for that. If you have, is there a specific question about what
Are there
they
any
thought?
in Georgia?
We do. I believe we have 4 in Georgia right now. I can provide you that list. I would feel remiss about missing one if I call that out.
Councilmember Butler.
Thank you very much. I have a couple of questions. Does the city customer have a choice as to what they want to do?
Yes, it is. You want to speak?
Yes, if you don't want to, this service, then you just stay a traditional customer and you'll be billed every 30 days, every net 30 or 31, whichever one, or so you do have a choice.
So what happens if a resident wants to opt in or opt out?
So if you opt in, then you'll be on this, and, if you opt out, then you go back to the traditional net 30. It won't be like you would be just to the wayside and you don't have anything. You'll just go back to what we do currently.
My final question is, how does the city get paid? How does the city get the money from the utility bill? If we're paying...
So just like right now, a customer comes in, and they pay their utility bill, and that goes, to customer care. It essentially to each fund, breaks down to each fund. So it'll just be the change of that payment, the receiver. It won't it doesn't have to be a customer care agent. It could be someone at CVS. So
let me rephrase my question. So from what I'm understanding, the customer pays his utility bill to PayGo.
No.
So,
I can address it. Okay. So the way that customers pay would ultimately be the same. No funds directly from your customers come to Acceleron. They pay the utility department based on however if they're a traditional customer, they pay the way they're paying today. If they're a prepaid customer, a point pay customer, they would make payments. It goes right into the utility CIS billing system as it is today. What we do from Acceleron's standpoint is that at the end of each month, we look at how many people were actually on the program and then ultimately charge the utility based on that agreed to rate for those participants. And you ask a question about customers coming into the program and coming off of the program. The truth is that if that helps that customer, if they need to get on prepay for a while or want to get on prepay for a while because it helps them maybe manage arrearage, maybe they got a debt of some sort and this is a really good way for them to pay that off, and they pay it off and they want to get back on the traditional, then we can make that happen. That's something we would do automatically, is that when they choose to go back on a traditional account, then they would just be moved back to being a traditional customer. We have people that do that, and then they want to come back on prepay again for whatever reason, and that's fine too. There's no issue with that.
So I guess so the question is your company a software company that manages the payment process?
We are a payment processor, and so for prepay customers, you would utilize our payment capabilities. We're a PCI Level 1 payment processor. We're also a SOC 2 compliant security organization from that standpoint. So all of those requirements from a payment standpoint we have to meet today.
Thank you.
Councilmember Ziegler.
Thank you. And I'm not sure if this would be a question for y'all or for customer care, but so when someone gets disconnected and then they get reconnected, there's like a 10% penalty and then there's fees and things like that. With this model, how would we calculate like the 10% fee or the reconnection fee, or would there be one?
No, there won't be any of that at all.
Okay, so that would only be for people who would
On the traditional.
on the traditional method. Okay, all right, thank you.
So, are you expecting action tonight? This is the first time we've heard about it. Generally, these come up at work sessions, so assuming this is something we wanted to share so the community could be aware that we're considering it, but what's the timeline?
Correct. There's really not a timeline per se. We just wanted to do a presentation to you guys so you have some understanding and thought about it. Wanting to hear your feedback. What do you think that we should tweak, or what we should go back to the drawing table a little bit more about. But we just didn't want to bring it to the work session and asking for some action or that sort without hearing your feedback about what you guys ultimately think about this project.
Yeah, those types of discussions are generally at the work session, but I think the good thing about this is that this is a presentation, it's at a recorded meeting so that the public can hear about what we're considering. And then maybe it probably is good that it go on the work session for Monday. If there are any, people can digest the information shared. If there's any feedback, then you can get it, more feedback, more discussion around it. We can do that there. Councilmember Cummings?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you for your presentation. I just have one question. So if you're going in and you're starting, so this is a pay app, correct? How you'll do your payments? It's an option for do your payments on your account.
I'm sorry, could you repeat it?
This is the Accelerun. This is an option, a payment option on how they can make. So now how does that, and that'll be an option that'll be given if you're starting a new service. You still have to go through the regular process. If you're establishing a new service, if I'm a new resident coming to East Point, it's still...
Correct. You still would need to set up an account, do all of that to become an account holder within the city.
And this is considered a payment option that you offer to the
Yes.
customers. Correct. And you said average about $6 per customer.
And it's really a tiered kind of program. The more people are on it, then that number comes down over time.
The fee goes down. Okay, thank you. I yield.
All right, any objection to this going on the August 11th work session for further discussion or feedback to staff? You can put it on August 11th work session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next up is Cultivating Community Health and Unity, Councilmember Butler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. If I could have the councilwomen from the city of South Fulton to come for a presentation. I would like to welcome and thank the councilwomen for this initiative, and thank you for Councilwoman Helen Willis, too, for being here. Thank you, ladies.
Was indeed an honor to stand before you today to discuss the Partnership for Cultivating Community Health and Unity, a health fair that we have put together to try to unify cities in South Fulton County to address the health disparities that we all experience.
So good evening again, thank you so much. This is a sample flyer of the Cultivating Community Health and Unity flyer. The event is scheduled for Saturday, August the 6th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Georgia International Convention Center. As noted, this is a sample flyer, so it will be updated before full release to all cities. But we want to make sure that we take this opportunity to include our neighboring cities in this wonderful initiative. So the purpose, now this stemmed last year from a conference. Relationships are super important. And so we had the opportunity at the annual legislative convention to meet a lot of the healthcare partners, including Johnson & Johnson, WellCare, WellStar, and so forth. And so this has birthed the Cultivating Community Health and Unity event. And so the purpose is, as Councilwoman Rao, is to address the critical health disparities that we all have, not only in the city of South Fulton, but for our neighboring cities as well. And so this event is designed to not only provide accessibility for adequate healthcare resources, including free biometric screenings. That includes anywhere from HIV testing, colorectal cancer and Cologuard opportunities for our men. We will be talking about mental health resources. A lot of our community partnerships and community-based organizations will also be there, as well as biometric screenings. Vision, we'll also have cholesterol, blood pressure, all of the screenings, something to just really give our residents an opportunity to have these services that are free to each of our communities and our residents. So again, as mentioned, we will include not only local health care facilities, but we're also including Johnson & Johnson, WellCare, WellStar, and on the next slide, you will see a lot of the partners that have already confirmed participation for this upcoming event, including our ARCHI, our Atlanta Regional Commission, Johnson & Johnson as mentioned, Grady Healthcare, WellStar, and several other organizations who have volunteered their time, their services to make sure that we can provide the resources that are needed for our cities.
And while this is the first year, we hope we'll be able to continue this in the future. We have over 100 healthcare providers committed to participate.
This is a little bit of information regarding the budget and the support. The total estimated budget for this event is over $60,000 with significant contributions already committed by Dr. Rowell and I from the city of South Fulton. As noted, you see the venue and logistics. That has already been paid for securing our venue at the Georgia International Convention Center. Of course, event management, medical supplies for Morehouse School of Medicine, A1C supplies that we were also able to obtain at a discounted rate. In addition, marketing and promotion, we are asking all cities, public affairs or communications departments to kind of help us get the word out. This is not about the city itself. This is solely about our residents and making sure that we can provide resources and provide them and connect them with opportunities to maybe create their own primary care provider. So this is really about resources and making sure that they receive the health screenings that will be provided again at free cost. So this is just a little bit more as far as the budget. It shows you on the side whether these items have already been paid in full, 50%, and so forth. In addition to the parking, the amount as listed for $10,000, we were successful in, of course, having our neighboring city, a city of College Park, that is going to help us with providing parking to all residents because we don't want anyone to be deterred from coming to an event. Anything you want to add?
I think you covered it.
So we have just a simple presentation, so we didn't want to belabor time tonight, but this is an opportunity. We do have, want to close it out and then give you an opportunity to ask any questions.
So our ask has been for cities to participate at the $5,000 level, but we don't want that to be a barrier because, again, we want full participation for our constituents. So we're asking, as she mentioned, all cities to promote this event. We want lots of people attending. We've worked really hard to get these healthcare providers there, and we want them to see a lot of different community residents to take advantage of this free screening. And again, like we mentioned, we hope this is not the only time we'll be doing this. We want to bring it back, and we're looking forward to a successful event, and we want you to be a part of it.
And so again, the vision is cultivating community health in unity. And so that's, again, thank you for the opportunity to allow us to present this before Mayor and Council. Any questions?
Councilmember Butler.
Ms. Ziegler has, I'll yield, Madam Mayor, for Ms. Ziegler.
Councilmember Ziegler.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. So where will this event be held?
At the Georgia International Convention Center.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you. And what were the dates again?
August 16th.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Councilmember Butler, I don't see any other lights. Martin Rogers.
I'm sorry, what's the ask again?
We've asked all cities for $5,000. That, again, it diverts the cost that we outlined in the budget because, of course, we had to rent the facility. And most of the medical providers, of course, they're volunteering their time, but the supplies for us to be able to serve people in mass, that's really where the supply costs come from.
Councilmember Act.
So just because you've gone back to the slide and you're speaking specifically about the supplies, your line item for supplies is $10,015, correct?
So that's for the $10,950 is for the venue. That was the cost of the venue. The supplies that you see listed, we have a couple different. We have $10,000 with Morehouse Medical, and then the A1C supplies at $8,000.
So $18,000? Mm-hmm. Okay, and your note beside those one states that 50% of that has already been paid, and the other one says that the other was paid in full.
That is correct.
And so the $5,000 would go toward, I just want to be clear?
The
in terms of
5,000 will go,
what the $5,000
what's not seen on here is our catering that is provided for
Volunteers.
volunteers, vendors, as well as any of our elected officials that will be in attendance. We can update that and provide that information, but that is at a $5,300 cost. In addition to that, we do need the additional 50% off, which is part of that $10,015 for Morehouse School of Medicine. The DJ services has already been covered. Volunteer support, we're using a combination of residents as well as nonprofits, D9 organizations, and so forth. And then the decor is something that we just want to make it welcoming to our residents.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And one other thing I'd like to add, we are so far had a commitment, as we said, College Park, Union City, Fairburn, and Palmetto.
I don't see any other lights. Councilmember Butler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Having said that, council, I make a motion that we approve a participation with the partnering cities in the amount of $5,000, and that we allow staff to post and market this event for the cities for this health initiative.
Councilmember Mitchell.
We're in discussion.
So we haven't gotten a second yet. Once I get a second, we'll get in discussion. There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Second. Then properly seconded discussion. Councilmember Mitchell.
Thank you. Could you please pull that last slide back up you had?
The budget?
Yes. And if I heard this correctly, you named 4 other cities?
Yes.
So that'll be $20,000 that's already been committed. Am I correct?
So as mentioned with the City of College Park, and there's a line item for parking, that is an in-kind donation that College Park has graciously provided. So that cost will be covered by the City of College Park. In addition, the City of Union City has also contributed $5,000. We are still waiting on payments to be sent directly to our finance department with the City of South Fulton. In addition to that, we have Palmetto, and we are waiting on final confirmation from Fairburn as of tomorrow.
Okay. Do you have an estimate about how much South Fulton has put?
We've
About 20,000 at least.
A piece, probably.
Okay.
So as mentioned, as you see outlined on the budget and support, on the cost and payments, there are parentheses that are stated, which state if they're paid in full by Councilwoman Bell and Rao.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Councilmember Clement.
Jesus Christ, I forgot my question, actually. I'm sorry. I think Councilmember Mitchell answered my question. I'm sorry, I meant to take my light off. I apologize.
There is a motion on the floor to approve partnering with the Cultivating Community.
Health and Unity.
Councilmember Cummings.
I apologize. So I know the motion was made and I did second it, but I do have one question to ask. As far as, before we make this decision to do this, I guess it'd be a question for city manager with regards to the $5,000, that where would that money come from? I'm sorry, I mean, just before we vote and we, give out the money, I just want to make sure that, that we have it to give and where it would come from, the source for it.
Potentially from events. Yep.
By you, Madam Mayor, I just want to make sure.
Councilmember Shropshire.
Thank you. I didn't hear where it was coming from.
He said potentially events. I don't recall in the budget a line item that just says events to be announced.
So
I think the
then-
line items in the budget have specific events, but the city manager said events.
So then the question becomes, what events? Because there are several events in the city budget. So what events would it come from?
Well, I'm just looking at this for the first time as well as everyone else, so I haven't had a chance to find where there's opportunities for that, but offhand, events seem to be an applicable fit. There's also professional services that have a lot of flexibility, but again, I think at this point, we can have some time and excuse me if I'm wrong, but we're just presenting this. If there's support, council gives me the direction to look into it, I can certainly find some options to find funding for this endeavor.
So let me ask this question. This is next Saturday?
16th.
There's a work session on Monday. Maybe if it's put on work session with the possible action, once it's determined where the funding is going to come from.
That's
That was
certainly an
Councilmember
option.
Shropshire.
Yep.
Mr. Jones?
I was just affirming that's certainly an option. I can certainly have some information on that by Monday.
Councilmember Atkins?
Yes, I mean, those were going to be my questions from what line item. Councilmember Butler, I know that this is your presentation, I believe, correct? And have you thought of from which line item we would pull the dollars, or would you like for the city manager to have the opportunity to look at the budget to figure out where we get the dollars from? It seems that with the work session, as Councilmember Shropshire said, we would have the opportunity to come back once those funds are identified to vote on it.
I think the city manager could find out where it would come from. I recommend that the city manager does that.
Okay, so you want to just move forward with the motion as it is now and vote this evening, correct?
Well, it depends on what the council wants to do. If the general consensus is you want to come back to work session to find out where that comes from out the budget, that's fine. I don't think we have to invite the councilwoman back if we think it's a good fit, if that's the only thing that we're missing.
Yes. Okay. That was my question. Thank you.
Thank you for the consideration.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Councilmember Mitchell?
So are we going to make a friendly amendment to that, or?
So I was going to finish discussion on this. I have a couple comments as well, but then we can do one or two things. We can do a friendly amendment, or we can do a substitute motion to have it go to the work session.
Okay, I'll wait, I guess.
Okay. I mean, I can discuss either on the substitute or the friendly amendment, like.
So, Mr. Councilman Butler, you want to amend that, or I can make a friendly amendment to wait until we have more information from the city manager on the funding source?
I think I may have misspoken, Councilmember Mitchell, because if the action is going to be actually to move it to work session, that's not necessarily amending. It's kind of a substitute for taking action tonight. So that's on me. If you want to make the substitute motion to have it go to work session, August 11th work session.
Okay, so well, he wants to withdraw it, so I'll yield. I'll just.
So even if the motion is withdrawn, in order for it to go to work session, right, like we would need to have, so we could do that without you withdrawing the motion. We could just do a substitute motion, and then that would send it to work session. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna, thank you, Councilman Butler. I'm gonna do a discussion on the
Sure.
substitute
So I'll make
motion.
a substitute motion that we wait until our next work session on
August 11th.
The 11th to, and also give the city manager permission to find a funding source for this event.
So moved. Is there a second? Did you hear it, Madam City Clerk? Okay. Did someone say second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Discussion. I just had the question around, and this is more for the city attorney. She and I spoke about Southside Day, and you'll notice there's a MOU on there for that. Do we need a MOU for this event?
Certainly for documentation, we can do one that shows that the contribution of $5,000 is toward the health fair, and then that the East Point citizens will be allowed to attend without charge.
Absolutely.
To show that there's not a gratuity issue. So I can prepare one that looks similar to the ones we've done in the past when we've supported events for
Okay.
consideration next week.
Thank you. And so it's been moved and properly seconded. Any other discussion? Mr. Jones? Your light's on from earlier? Okay. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Madam City Clerk, you can move this item to the work session agenda and in parentheses indicate action may be taken. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you very much.
Next up, do we have any committee reports?
Madam Mayor, may I make a
Oh, I'm
announcement?
so sorry. Thank you.
I almost forgot to.
Now, I didn't write it down, so thank you, Councilman Butler.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to make an announcement and ask this city council to vote on a small issue. Let me pull it up. So I'm asking that I be allowed to market a Hope and Health Community Health Awareness Day and a school supply giveaway sponsored by Mount Olive SDA Church, and that would be on August 10th, 2025, from noon to 4 p.m., and ask that we allow for this to be placed on the city website and city social media pages.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Discussion. Where will the event be held?
It's at the, excuse me, I'm sorry. It wants to give me a problem now, hold on. 3366 Mount Olive Road, East Point, Georgia, 30344. It's across from the Asa Hilliard Elementary School.
Is that Asa Hilliard?
No, it's.
Oh, you said across from? Okay.
The
So
Mount
you-
Olive Seventh-day Adventist Church.
So are you asking for this to be a joint city event, like a city partnership event with that organization?
Yes, ma'am, and the only ask they have from us is just to be able to share the word, so they're providing all the funding for that.
Okay. Councilman Martin, right?
Thank you. They answered it, the SDA, Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Yes, ma'am.
The motion is to, I'm sorry, Councilman Butler, I didn't write it down.
It's okay.
The
The motion is
Did you
to,
get it?
the motion is to allow the city to promote on the city website and social media the Hope and Health Community Health Awareness Day and school supply giveaway on August the 10th from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's all the ask that they need.
So you're asking that the city partner with this event to be able to promote it as a city partnered event?
Yes, ma'am, yes.
Okay. So the motion starts with the approval of city partnering with and everything else that the Councilmember Butler said. It was moved and seconded
Yes, I mean.
by Councilmember Atkins. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
I
All those opposed? Motion carried.
had a question, but
Sorry,
that's okay.
Councilmember
But I
Shropshire.
think it was answered. What time was it? And that's on a Sunday?
Yes, ma'am, it is on a Sunday, and it's from 12 noon to 4 p.m.
Okay.
And the name of the church is Mount Olive Seventh-day Adventist Church.
All right, any other announcements? Seeing no lights, we will now move to council discussion and possible action on Southside Day MOU. If we can get a motion to open the floor for discussion and possible action.
Moved.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Council approved the city partnering with Young Jock and the Southside Day Committee to host Southside Day in East Point on August 31st. And speaking with the city attorney the day after that was approved, she suggested that we have an MOU, which is similar to what we did with 100 Black Men of South Metro when they utilize our facility for an event. So what you have is that memorandum of understanding drafted by our city attorney that will be shared with the Southside Day Committee for the event. You'll notice that the city is working with them to identify, and that the partnership does not require a financial contribution. Southside Day Committee will provide free entertainment and free giveaways in exchange for their use of city property and resources to host Southside Day in East Point. And the other requirements here, I know that you all just received it. It was sent to me earlier today, but I didn't get a chance to review it till here. And so the city attorney has prepared this, and we're sharing it with you all. If you need additional time to look at it, we could table it until the end of the agenda. But if not, again, the event has already been approved by council and the partnership is already approved. This is just the MOU for that event.
Madam Mayor,
Councilmember Butler.
I make the motion that we approve this MOU for Southside Day.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Councilmember Atkins.
Yes. I haven't really had a chance to go through the entire MOU, but just wanted to ask, I guess this would be of Madam Attorney, the third whereas, where we've got city property and resources. So do we know specifically what those things will be, or it's just open depending upon what is needed?
So in section 1, A, the requirement is for that Southside Day Committee to work with the city manager's office and the mayor's office to identify what those resources are. I tried to capture what could possibly be needed based on the presentation that was given at the meeting where you guys voted to move forward with this. So yes, it is open, but I would assume it certainly would be use of the lawn. We would likely have some staffing, police patrolling, but outside of that, maybe tables and chairs, right? But outside of that, I don't think it would cover anything additional. But the short answer is no. I don't know exactly what, but there is a requirement that they work with the city to identify those things ahead of schedule, ahead of the event.
Okay.
That way, if there's something we can't provide, they'll know that up front.
Okay. Yeah. And that's about as far as I've actually gotten on it, because I was trying to listen to. Okay.
If you could give an overview, that would be helpful.
Yes, no problem. So they are required to sign a waiver of liability. They are required to have some professional liability insurance. They would be required to market the event, as would the city. The event is free to city residents. Obviously, if we're providing some in-kind services, then our citizens shouldn't have to pay to attend. Their tax dollars have already gone to it. Any changes to this requires this council to agree to it. It couldn't be changes that can be done on the staff level. The term ends at the end of the event. So this is not long-term. It's over once the event is over, but there's a requirement under Section 3 that the waiver of liability, the insurance requirement, and what I'll tell you about shortly, the indemnification requirement lasts at least 2 years following this agreement. So if any claim comes up, a child falls, or something, we have those sections that are in here to last beyond the term of the agreement. Okay. Because obviously you have a 2-year statute of limitations for those type of claims. The next thing is the indemnification requirement that the city would be indemnified by that committee should anything occur. It does not, however, cover any intentional acts of the city right? So if there's a situation where we knew or should have known of some defect on our property, then it wouldn't cover that because that's on us. Choice of law, obviously, is the state of Georgia. This could be terminated by written notice by either party in advance of the date, 10 days prior to, with a 10-day notice, my apologies. One thing you will see in here is the date is blank. I don't know the date of the event, and if we know it, I can include it. If not, then that's something that I think would be, an administrative thing that can be added if this is approved tonight.
Okay. And I guess with that, when you talked about the professional liability insurance, do we need to state the amount that they need to cover, or would that, in terms of best practices and mitigating risk, or would that matter if we are indemnified? So through...
Yeah, so I thought about that, like what the amount would be, what they have and what would be appropriate. I couldn't come up with a number, that's why I left it blank. But with the indemnification, it's whatever, right? The claim would be that would come against the city, they would be required to indemnify us. So I don't think it's as material to have an amount of the amount of insurance. We could put something like a statement saying insurance that is like standard for this type of event, like a standard amount without stating a dollar amount, or you guys can approve it with some authority to the city manager to include that later after there's some conversation with this group to see what they have.
Okay.
I think a minimum 250,000 should.
Right. So I was going to say that perhaps we could include a number to say no less than.
Okay.
Okay.
Especially given the size, the anticipated size of this event, I think that's fair.
Okay. So, so if we could say no less than, and then have the city manager to, based on best practices, figure out what number goes there. Okay. And those would be all my questions. Thank you.
And then I would ask that in your motion, if this is approved tonight, that you allow the city manager to include the date once that's determined.
So the current date is August 31st, but sometimes dates change, as with previous events that have been approved. And so if we just indicate it's a one-day event, then it would be flexible. Right now, it's August 31st. And there's been an initial meeting with the city manager, the Southside Day Committee, and staff from different departments. They've been discussing and meeting weekly as well, as it relates to preparing for the event. And so I don't know if the city manager has any information that he'd like to share from the recent meetings. I attended the first one, but I haven't been at the last, there's been two more events.
Yes, Mayor, I just wanted to add time on that as well. It's anticipated to start at 12 noon and go to 8 p.m.
So, Madam Mayor, I would then add, based on Councilman Atkins' comments and the date comments, that a motion to approve this MOU with the inclusion of the August 31st date and language that says with the option of rescheduling due to weather or any unforeseeable event. And then the comment about no less than 250,000 liability insurance.
Said no less than whatever the city manager determines is best practice.
Okay.
Councilmember Butler, do you accept those friendly amendments? Does the second still stand? Who gave the second? The motion has been amended. The amended motion has been approved by the maker, and the second still stands from the seconder. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Next up is council discussion and possible action on bifurcation agreement for Ridge Road. Get a motion to open the floor. It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed, motion carries. The floor is open. Councilmember Martin Rogers.
We've had this item presented to us. We've heard from the resident. We've heard from the city council member that represents this resident. So my motion is to simply approve the bifurcation agreement for Ridge Road.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Councilmember Atkins.
Yes, thank you. I know that in our last meeting regarding this issue, there were some things that were going to be worked out between the city of East Point and the city of South Fulton. And so do we have an update on those things? Is this what we're actually approving this evening?
So I will say this, I was given a draft of the agreement to review, and I did send back some questions to the city manager's office about the agreement. I am pulling up those questions now. Give me 1 second. I will say that this agreement was drafted by South Fulton attorneys, and it appears that the city manager's office was confident with the review of, what is the name of that department? Public Works. The only thing that I want to be clear is that in the compensation portion, there is a requirement that the city of South Fulton provide the city of East Point a number. So I think it's like $44,000. But then in the second subsection of that compensation section, it requires the city to expend about $37,000. I just wanted to make sure it's for the same thing for the road paving. Is that amount supposed to be together for that to pave Ridge, or is it for something else? So just clarity on that compensation section is the only question I had.
And when you say the city to spend, do you mean the city of East Point or the city of South Fulton?
Well, South Fulton is contributing, right?
Right.
South Fulton is contributing about a $40,000 number. In addition to that, the city of East Point is contributing about 30-something thousand.
Okay, yeah. And I thought that there were numbers that were going to come back to us as a part of the agreement so that we could go ahead and approve this and the project could start.
Those numbers are in there.
Okay.
So the agreement that's attached to the agenda as IGA Final Ridge Road has a compensation section, which is section 4. There's only 4A, so you were talking about another section. I don't see it there, but it says for a road paving and related services to be rendered pursuant to this agreement, the city shall pay to East Point an amount not to exceed $35,000 and 0 cents. And I see Mr. Reeves here, so there's not a mention of the other amount, so I'm not sure how we got to this.
Let's make sure we got the right version in the
Right,
book.
that's why this is the one that's attached to the agenda. Mr. Reeves, did you want to provide any clarity on anything?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Jeffrey Reeves, Director of Public Works. The final count number, and I don't know, we didn't get it to there, but the final count number would have been $44,500 from the city of South Fulton, and then the city of East Point will be paying $37,000. That would be the total cost, not to exceed a total amount of $81,500.
I'm sorry, say those.
$44,500 from City of South Fulton, and then $37,000 from the City of East Point, to have a total not to exceed $81,500.
So, Madam Mayor, the right version is not in the book. The version that was emailed to me by the South Fulton City Attorney reads differently. And so I can email that to Madam City Clerk so that y'all can see it. But this is not the correct version.
And I'm sorry that you didn't receive it, but I believe there's some communication with Andrea Hester with the City of South Fulton.
That's the attorney.
Yes, and they were supposed to be sending that information over to you, so they had approved those numbers. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, to the City Attorney's Office.
We can do one of two things. We can table this item until we get the printed copy of the MOU and then come back to it after the next 2 items, or we can wait for it right now. The Councilmember Martin Rogers said, let's table it. Is it a motion? That's the motion?
Yes.
Councilmember Mitchell, you said second. Is that for the motion to table? It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in,
Sorry.
all those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. This item will be tabled until after item number 8. And I've made me a note, so I won't forget. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Next is item number 7. Is there a motion to open the floor for discussion and possible action on council retreat for Saturday, August 23rd? Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. The floor is open for discussion. This came from the city manager.
Yeah, this item just goes back to a direction that was given by the city council this spring to find a date to have a council retreat. July was a difficult month for everyone. August, we found a couple of dates that worked. After visiting with the city attorney, we had a date that we had to postpone because it wasn't properly brought to council to actually ratify the date. And so this is what we're doing now, ratifying that date, and we're able to make the 23rd work. The location would be Marriott Gateway, and it would go from 9 to 4 on Saturday, August 23rd.
Councilmember Atkins.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager. Who decided on the date and the location?
The location being the Marriott Gateway, we looked at a number of different locations. The timing was an issue of making location work. We did look at several places in East Point, and the flexibility of the various times that I kind of talked about had moved around a bit. Marriott Gateway was the most flexible in making those times work. So that's how we got to the location. As far as council, we basically worked off consensus to get the majority of 5 at least to agree to a time that worked. So that's how we kind of worked ourselves into finding a time that actually worked.
So it was 5 council members that decided the date of the 23rd?
That as one of the dates that would work, yes. There were several dates that we looked at. The 23rd was just one of them.
Interesting. And this is right after qualifying, when there are 5 seats up. So what would be the benefit of the retreat?
So the benefits are the same. Basically are not focused on politics. I think we have enough individuals that make sure the politics is covered. From staff standpoint, we're focused on getting some protocols and understanding on how we process and move forward as getting actions from items ranging from communications to other issues of having the day-to-day operations run smooth.
So what if the 23rd doesn't work for everybody? Because I'm just surprised that 5 council people voted and made a decision on the 23rd when really it should have been input from everyone to get, if they wanted everyone to attend, to get everyone's availability. And I just have to wonder, because this is after qualifying, knowing that there are 5 seats up for re-election. So what would any policy do in the event that, or any actions do in the event that the election take a turn? You'll be, anything that was worked on in this retreat would basically go out the door because whoever comes in can decide that they want to do something different. And I yield.
Councilmember Cumming.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I wanted to make a motion that we approve the council retreat that's going to be scheduled for. I'm sorry?
Before you know whether or not you're going to have a quorum?
Before I know if we have a what?
For discussion.
Go ahead, make your motion.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the council retreat that's scheduled for Saturday, August 23rd, 2025.
Is there a second? Second. It's been moved and properly seconded. Discussion. Councilmember Cummings, are you still in?
No.
Councilmember Martin Rogers.
Yes, and this question is for Mr. City Manager. Can you disclose the members that decided on the retreat on the 23rd? Because I know my work schedule probably won't allow for me to come on the 23rd, but I'm open to having it on another day if possible. And my other question is, why are we having a retreat in another city? Why can't we just use one of our spaces here? I think there are a number of hotels in East Point. You also have 4 Point Sheridan off Camp Creek. We have the City Hall Annex, which is over off Normanberry. So those are my questions.
Mr. Jones, do you have a response?
Yeah, I'm not real sure about sharing my comments on how many numbers or who did that.
Was it done through email? If so, it's open record.
I'll refer to the attorney. Is that appropriate?
Yeah, I don't think it's protected.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
I think the vote will tell it, but if that's your interest, Councilman Freely, Councilman Ziegler, Councilperson Atkins, Councilperson Cummings, Councilperson Butler, Councilperson Mitchell have all indicated those dates work. And there were several dates. There was a poll to gather dates, so we tried to find dates that had the most consensus.
I never got anything.
As far as the location, again, we tried various locations. The whole idea to a retreat is to kind of get out into something like familiar territory, so it's a more relaxing atmosphere so that we can have conversations that aren't in the typical spaces that we typically have conversations. So it's kind of a traditional approach to retreats, hence retreat, the word, is focused to trying to explore and be into different spaces. So that was one of the reasons why we had another place. But we definitely looked at several places, ranging from churches, ranging to the senior center. We've actually made tours at some places. We just couldn't make those dates work, primarily because the dates were moving around, and it's kind of hard to get something that works with 9 individuals with various busy lives. So this is what we have.
The reason I ask is I'm not familiar with any city that comes into East Point for their council retreat. That's all I'm saying. And I was also informed by the mayor that it's 20 hotels in East Point. So there's that. I mean, we should keep the money in our own city. Don't mind you having the retreat, but to go just right next door, you all could have the retreat in the city of East Point. Thank you.
Councilmember Ziegler.
Yes, thank you. So there was an email that was sent out May 9th. I don't know if it's appropriate to share that, but I'm comfortable sharing that email on the screen right now. But it was, everybody on this council plus mayor was on that email. Additionally, in the city manager's weekly report, he asked us repeatedly to fill that out. So if you didn't fill out that form, then I don't know. I mean, that's too bad, because we really need, we really need to be unified. We really need to be on the same page with a lot of things, and for us to just say that none of this stuff happened, I mean, it did. You know, this was a directive from City Council several months ago, and this is the outcome of that. So this is a directive from City Council. The city manager did email out everybody, council and mayor, a survey to fill out when everyone's availability was going to be, and we had to rank each week for several months, and this was the outcome of that survey.
Councilmember Butler.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I would be brief. I think the reason why we really need to have this retreat so we can really get together and codify some of our rules of how we engage with each other, how we engage with staff, and how we engage with the public. This is a great opportunity for team building, and also where we can express our differences in a safe place in order that we may come to common ground. So I support for us having a retreat, no matter what day it is or the date, so that we can all work to move the city forward and make East Point better.
Councilmember Martin Wright.
Thank you. And for the record, as you all know, we do have that issue with our communication protocol. However, back in May, I started emailing Mr. Jones, telling him my availability for a council retreat. I also circled back in June, telling him again my availability for a council retreat. And then I sent my final email to Mr. Jones, telling him of my availability for a council retreat. So just wanted to go on record to state that no one is against having a council retreat. However, when we pick and choose who we're going to respond to and what we're going to uphold, since we're supposed to be working as a family, perhaps you all can encourage him to respond to my emails. So it's documented heavily, telling him that during the months of June and July, I possibly would not be available. But you all have the date of August 23rd, and there's that. Work on communication.
I think the city manager said once he had 6, he made his decision, and so the other 3, there was no follow-up with. And so there's a motion on the floor. There's constant follow-up and communication with certain people on council by the city manager. But nevertheless, he said he had 6, so he's selected on the date. So there's a motion on the floor to have the retreat on August 23rd. The city of East Point has, I think, at least 20 hotels and different meeting spaces, but we're going to just a Marriott next door in College Park. So if there's no discussion, Councilmember Schreiber.
Is there an alternative date that would work for everybody?
That's a question for me.
I'm not sure. It sounds like there's already 6 votes on this, so Councilmember Mitchell is in, though. You've asked if there's another date. The city manager hasn't shared another date. Councilmember Mitchell?
I mean, this gets annoying, trying to make this conflating the issue, making it sound nefarious. This how majorities work. We have 6 people on the council who agreed to a date on the weekend. There's nothing nefarious going on. Can we please stop conflating this issue? People weren't hand-selected, and this wasn't a secret process. So we can just move along and vote on this so we can have a retreat, please. Thank you.
I don't think no one is inflating the date or anyone has a problem.
The motive.
But I think think I'm talking.
Hold on, so let's.
I'm talking.
Come on, one at a time.
I still have the
It's
floor?
not working.
No, I still have the floor.
One at a time. Councilmember Mitchell, your light had gone off. I hadn't called Councilmember Shropshire as of yet. But Councilmember Mitchell, do you still have any comments? If not, I'll go to Councilmember Shropshire. I simply stated what the city manager said. Councilmember Mitchell.
Yeah, so, again, we have a consensus. It sounds like y'all trying to make this more than what it sounds like. Usually when there is a majority of people in any democratic system, the majority rules. It's not, you pick a day when you're available. It's when we can have a quorum. And it's highly unfortunate, y'all might can't attend on that day, but there's nothing else going on. I yield.
Do you realize how
Councilmember
stupid you sound?
Shropshire.
This is not a democratic process. This is about working together. If people are not available on that date, then it should be another date that everyone can come, can participate in the retreat. But for you to sit up here and basically say, get over it, because we are the majority and we rule, are you listening to yourself? Really? But yet y'all sit up here and talk about how you want to work together, how you want to get along, and how you want to do this and that, but you can't even come to an agreement on a date that works for everybody. Nobody said they didn't want the retreat. So why can't there be another date, Mr. Mitchell?
So the city manager was the one tasked with coordinating dates. The city manager said when he had 6, he selected a date. So 6 is not 9. And if that is where the council is moving, then the motion can, I'll call the question, but Councilman Ziegler is in as well.
Yes, I'll just reiterate this. This email went out many months ago. It went out to everybody. And I don't know what the solution would be when people decide not to participate in those emails, to give their availability so that they could be included in the way that is the easiest and most efficient. But unfortunately, we're here where people didn't respond to the email and now are saying that they didn't know and that they were included in this decision. So that's kind of where we are. So would it be preferable that everybody can come? Yes, I would love to have everybody there. But unfortunately, there have been many attempts to get everybody to fill out the survey online, and there are people who just didn't do it. So this is where we are. It's similar to how there was an announcement about we could have a breakfast, lunch, or dinner with the city manager. That was all in an email as well, went out to everybody. So, if we want to work together, I mean, I would love to work together, but we just have to all make sure that we're engaged in and reading our emails and participating and putting forth, some effort to make sure that everyone has actually filled out the forms and stuff like that so that everybody can come.
Councilmember Martin Rogers.
Thank you. And this city manager is the highest paid city manager in the history of East Point. So, I mean, that goes back to he should have probably put out more dates that were more feasible for everyone, but instead he decided to settle in on the majority. I have been emailing him. I have also sent you all forwarded emails where I have sent information.
Hold on a minute. The city manager called a point of order. Let me point of order rule because I don't know that. I'm sorry. I thought that was your voice literally just sounded the same.
Okay.
So it was Councilmember Mitchell. What rule, Councilmember Mitchell?
Are we allowed to talk about performances of staff and things of that nature.
So for the point of order, I can't entertain any questions. I'll pull up the rule. It says, during a point of order, the person who calls a point of order can only state the council rule. Gosh, y'all just sounded like.
I remember one time the issue came up and it wasn't allowed for us. to
Hold
talk
on,
about-
Councilmember Mitchell, I'm gonna pull up the point of order rule, because it doesn't allow for discussion. It says you have to state the rule. I'm just trying to pull it up on my laptop.
The point of order. The point of order. You calling a point of order and don't even know the rules. Like, oh my God.
A point of order is Rule 13. Point of order will take precedent over all other business. The chair must recognize the council member calling the point of order. Once recognized, the council member may only quote the rule number and the rule. No discussion, explanation, or debate is allowed during a point of order. The chair will recognize the point of order and then rule as to the point of order. The council member calling for a point of order may appeal the ruling of the chair. The chair will then call for a vote to uphold the decision. So, Councilmember Mitchell, you can state the rule number and the rule.
Sure. I'm going to go with rule number 7, decorum.
Rule number 7 is members recognized. Every member prior to speaking or making a motion shall be recognized by the presiding officer and shall not proceed with his or her remarks until recognized and named by the chair. When 2 or more members request recognition, the presiding officer shall name the council member who is to speak first. Council members shall confine remarks to the subject under debate, avoiding personal comments directed at other members and/or refraining from impugning the motives of any other council member's comments or votes. No council member may interrupt another council member except to rise to a point of order. Councilmember Martin Rogers was the council member that I had recognized who was speaking at the time that the point of order was made, and so Rule 7 is either not applicable or had been complied with because she was recognized prior to speaking.
Would that be impugning the character? Oh, I'm sorry.
So that's my rule.
Okay. So we can appeal that, right?
You can.
Do I need a grounds or why am I appealing or need that explanation?
So if I read back to the rule of point of order, it says the council member may only quote the rule and the rule number and the rule. No discussion, explanation, or debate is allowed during a point of order. The chair will recognize the point of order and then rule as to the point of order, which I just did. The council member calling for a point of order may appeal the ruling of the chair. The chair will then, quote, call for a vote to uphold the decision. When I asked you for the rule number and the rule, you said Rule 7, and decorum, Rule 7 deals with members being recognized.
And impugning one's character.
I'm sorry?
Impugning the character of...
That's not Rule 7.
That's not Rule 7.
Did we not just read that? Okay. Go ahead. I'll let it go.
Oh, refrain from impugning the motives of any other council members' comments or votes?
So that doesn't apply to the city manager? Or
It says
staff?
any other council members' comments or votes. That's straight from the rule. That's not staff.
Okay. Well, it's noted, so.
Noted.
Councilmember Martin, you may continue.
There have been numerous emails sent to Mr. Jones in which they have not been recognized or resolved. So all I believe I am asking for is an optional date for the council retreat. That's just it. Thank you.
The communication we received was that this was going to the retreat was going to happen on August the 9th based on 5 council members. the city attorney indicated that that required a vote, and therefore now we're here. But we were not, after being notified that the August 9th was canceled because the meeting was not properly called, shared with any other dates. What I saw was it on the agenda for August the 23rd. So there's a motion on the floor, and the city manager made those dates based on 6 council members. And so any further discussion on that motion?
Madam Mayor,
Councilmember Butler.
could we repeat the motion, please?
The motion is, who made the motion? Councilmember Cummins made the motion for the council retreat to be held on Saturday, August 23rd. And who made the second? Councilmember Butler seconded. Okay. Councilmember Atkins?
Yes, so that we don't have to revisit this issue, do we also need to stipulate or state the time, so then we don't have to come back and say what time the retreat is going to be?
Go ahead, Madam City Attorney, because I believe the agenda and everything has been made available to the public.
I would recommend whatever it is that this council wants, they probably should state it in the motion.
Yeah, I think so. And so, Councilmember, okay.
Just be clear, so the agreement amongst however many, if it's more than a quorum, to have a date or to do anything, right, has to happen in an open meeting. And the agreement that the city manager acted on didn't happen in an open meeting, which is why you're here. So if now that we're here, I just recommend that whatever it is that this motion is going to support, time, date, place, all of that, you should probably say it in the motion so
Yes.
that this
We
is
won't be here
not
again.
a continued issue.
Right, thank you.
So in order to do that, it requires a friendly amendment or a substitute motion. Councilmember Atkins, there are other people in, are you still in for discussion?
Yes, Councilmember Cummins, I offer a friendly amendment that the council retreat be held on Saturday, August 23rd, starting at 9 a.m. and
At the Marriott College.
I don't know how many
Location.
hours.
Give a location.
At the Marriott Gateway, is that it? At the Marriott Gateway from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Accept the friendly amendment, Councilmember Cummins.
I accept the friendly amendment.
Councilmember Butler, does the second still stand? All right, further discussion? Councilmember Shropshire.
Yes, my question is, who will be facilitating the retreat?
Heidi Smalls.
I like Heidi.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have the, I don't recall the table rule. I said we would bring it back after number 8. Is it possible, Madam City Attorney, for me to bring 6 back now? We can go back to item number 6.
Madam Mayor, do I need to make a motion to remove it from the table? I make a motion that we remove it from the table.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. After this item was tabled, we've been provided with the most up-to-date bifurcation agreement. The term that I read into the record previously from the previous MOU only had 4A, so I'm going to read compensation sections 4A and 4B. 4A, for road paving and related services to be rendered pursuant to this agreement, the city shall pay to East Point an amount not to exceed $44,500. East Point shall contribute an amount not to exceed $37,000 for road paving and related services to be rendered pursuant to this agreement. Madam City Attorney, you indicated that that was a question or concern. Were there any other items, a question or concern that you had regarding this item?
Because there is 1A on the first page under purpose and an intent which limits this agreement to the road paving of the ungravel section of Ridge Road. I'm fine with it not being specific in 4A and 4B, that those two amounts add up to whatever Mr. Reeves said a minute ago, and that amount is to be the contribution to paving the section of the unpaved and graveled section of Ridge Road. I think your copies that Ms. McCullough passed out had attached to it Blackjack project proposal. Please disregard that. That does not comply with our procurement policy because Blackjack was just selected. I do believe we can use our on-call construction contractors, which may or may not be Blackjack. So this MOU, provided it gets your approval tonight, will be just the MOU, not the attachment for Blackjack.
Questions, comments, concerns? I don't.
Madam Mayor,
Councilmember Butler.
I recommend that we approve the MOU. I'm sorry, I said recommend. I make the motion that we approve the MOU.
And just point of order, when there was a motion made previously, but then the item was tabled, so now that it's removed from the table, does the previous motion still stand? Or do we need to make a new
What
motion?
was the previous motion? Do you
To
recall?
approve it. It was made, it was also made on the previous agreement, not this
Yeah, so then
one.
I think it's dead, that this motion will stand. And I know we're going to go in discussion, so I'll hold the rest of what I want to say.
Okay, we're in discussion, because I think Councilmember Butler made it and Councilmember Cummins seconded.
So the only other thing is that because the price was probably based on Blackjack and now we've got to do it based on somebody else, I would like there to be some consideration. I think Mr. Reeves is confident that the on-call contractors can do this work within the price, the compensation that's in here, that if there is some overage, that it not be borne by the city. Or y'all make that decision, right? Like say it comes out to be $82,030, who's gonna pay the extra?
Can it just be brought to us? I think in order to get the work moving, there's an agreement that both cities agree to do the repaving, and these are the amounts, and I think that will allow it to move forward. And then if there is an issue with what the amount that's been approved, right, there need to be discussions or whatever, and you all can bring that term back as an amendment but this would allow it to at least move forward. Any further discussion?
Quick question, how you doing, Mr. Reeves?
Good, sir. How you doing this evening?
Do you have an estimate on how much a pothole costs to fill in the city, or do y'all have any type of estimates like that?
No, not. I wouldn't have that type of amount. I mean, we had to have asphalt, time, the staff.
So is it more labor intensive or not too much material, or?
What, for this?
For like a
For a
pothole?
pothole?
Say for like a pothole or something like that?
No, repairing a pothole is we can have, that can be done with 2 men and hot asphalt, and they go out there and they, cut a pothole, normal pothole, something larger or area has alligator cracks in or something that has a pothole where we may need to expand it. That might take a team to go out there for traffic control and things of that sort, but just right off the top of my head, I mean, you would have to add in half an hour or hour worth of work, $20, $40 an hour for the 2 men, and asphalt is probably $15 a ton or something right now.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Do you know how much of the repaving or resurfacing, how big of a distance is that? Like, do you have it broken down to like a quarter mile or
For
tenth of a mile?
this project, I believe it's a quarter mile. I believe it's a quarter mile, actually. But I guess as the city attorney said, once we approve the MOU tonight, we'll go out and solicit our on-call contractors and actually have an amount that we would not exceed, and then get the contractors to come in, and then we should be able to present it in the September work session.
Okay.
I don't think we can get it by next week, but we should be able to get it by the September work session for the contractor, for council to see the amount and approve the amount of the contractor. But approving the MOU tonight moves us forward to go ahead and solicit our contractors on the on-call list, and then we bring them out, and we should have that by September work session. So we'll be able to approve that amount by the September work session. I'm confident that we should be able to get this project done within the amount that we've solicited this evening.
So, thank you. So I'm looking at the map now. So my only hesitation is how many East Point residents stay on this road?
0.
Okay, thank you. So, just for transparency, I would feel a certain type of way if, I know I hit a couple potholes coming here today.
Yes, sir, but clarification of the road itself, even though we don't have any East Point residents live on it.
Okay.
This road is split in half almost by zone, where half, and the residents happens to live at the end of the road, which is not in the city of East Point, but we have half the road, which is our responsibility, and we already maintain it.
Right. Okay. I'm just saying, I know we're doing our best to prioritize things.
Yes, sir, we get it.
And definitely appreciate you guys getting around on.
You got a pothole, let us know. So
the
we can get to
resurfacing
it.
of these streets,
Yes,
so give you kudos for that, but this is just something,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
But thank you.
Yes, sir.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next up is item number 8. Motion to open the floor for discussion and possible action on item number 8. Is there a motion? Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. The floor is now open. Mr. Jones.
It's open. Yes. Okay. So this item, if we call our last meeting, we the city manager got authority to move forward with the July event, but it was July only. There was at that time discussion as to the need to vote on this event again, since it was approved in the budget. And while that has merit, there is 2 items that go beyond, based on our city code, beyond the city manager's authority to make purchases beyond $25,000 without council's, without it being brought to council. So since we have 2 issues that meet that out of this whole event, one being always is likely going to be the headliner performance and the rent of the stage. So we've have talked in the past on why those 2 things are considered to be sole source. To recap that, those conversations, 1, the performer brings a unique thing that only that performer can bring, and 2, the stage itself, based on its specifications, was so unique that it's very limited and only available through renting at this time. So the item before you now is to essentially give the city manager the authority to move forward with the August event and take care of those items that may go over $25,000 with reason.
Any discussion? I don't see any.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, what items are we looking at that are, that we know that's going to be over the $25,000 threshold?
Only 2. One would be the rental of the stage, and the other would be the cost of the headliner performer. There would be other performers that don't reach that number, but the headliner performance always has.
Okay, and do you know, can you give us the dollar amounts for each of those?
I don't have those numbers. I have to look. I don't know if I have anyone staff that had worked on that. But I do know that they are, oh, is that?
Bless you, I said bless you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was pointing to staff member. I do know that they're slightly over. So, and this is where the with reason comes for. Obviously, if it's a large number over 25,000, I wouldn't approve it.
Okay. So,
The other thing is we don't actually have people now. So I think before we actually had that act, we actually had a number. This time we're getting ahead of the game because we were kind of behind, and we also had the migration that also limited our ability to pay out. So there was a number of different things. This time we're trying to get out early so that we can get the proper insurance and all those kind of things, which takes a couple of weeks to do. Those numbers will be coming in, but I wanted to kind of get that out now so we'll know if we're going to do the event or not.
okay. So the last concert, the stage was, I think, 52,000.
It's the same stage, and I hadn't got the final number of what that cost, so I have to. I don't want to guess.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Butler.
Yes, thank you. So now understand, last time, and I wasn't here, so you're trying to get approval so that you can approve an act beforehand so there's not any confusion.
Correct.
I couldn't hear the question.
The question was, he's trying to get approval to hire an act because last time there may have been some confusion or delay in hiring that act. And so you're thinking that the headliner would be more than the $25,000 threshold that's required by a charter.
That's correct.
So I guess my question is, we still have enough money that's allocated in the budget to accommodate both of those requests, am I right?
Absolutely. So if you recall, one approval of the budget actually covers 4 events. So even if you go higher or a little higher on your early events, you have the ability to manage either your quality of performance, your performers in your second, because you basically would be on the budget. And you also have sponsorships that come in that will mitigate if you do go over on a particular line item, to mitigate those overages, so the overall budget and the overall quality of the event can still maintain a certain level. So theoretically, if things do go over, sponsorships don't come in where you forecast, then the last event may say not have as high of cost performances that would be high headliners or regional acts or what have you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Atkins.
Yes, Mr. City Manager, so for the last event, I believe that you just mentioned that the stage was about $52,000.
That was a number that was thrown out. I don't quite have that in front of me, unless any of my finance folks are familiar with that allotment.
And I guess my question would be, at that time, was there an opportunity to negotiate better pricing, because we knew that we'd have other events in the city, and so did the city exercise any of those options or strategies?
So as I remember, this stage is quite different than most stages, and I think the ability to outfit the wide ranges of acts and the type of equipment, electrical and with the display and everything, as I understand it, and what makes this a sole source is the fact that it is so unique, and we tried to purchase this stage initially at one time, and the only one company had would be able to produce this stage, and at the time it was going to be a wait time for that stage to be constructed, And so the only stage that is available in our region is this stage, and it's just being rented out to various venues. So, so that was what I understand was the deliberation on the stage, and why we're still renting the stage versus purchasing the stage. And I haven't been personally involved in any discussions on what the wait time would be now, or any of those details if we were intending to, at some point, purchase the stage.
And my other question, you mentioned sponsorship. So do you anticipate that we would have sponsorships for this particular event?
Yes, and we have gotten sponsorships in all of the events. They've come at various levels, but we've always had some sponsorship.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any further discussion or action on this item? What was your ask again, Mr. Jones?
Granting the city manager authority to approve the August Wednesday Wind Down event, and any items that exceed $25,000 within reason.
That's the request from the city manager. Is there any action or further discussion? I don't see any. Councilmember Shropshire.
Madam Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the city manager's request.
Been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Next up is, I believe, executive session. Madam, you know what? Tonight, I didn't say them because we didn't have any, but committee reports. Any council members who serve on either the Budget and Finance or HR committee have any information, anything that they want to share?
Yes.
Councilmember.
Thank you. I serve on the HR committee with Councilmember Freely and also Councilmember Cummings, our HR director, Ms. Jessie, and our deputy city clerk. Just in brief, we are working towards, and the mayor, I apologize. In brief, we are working towards the completion of our direct reports evaluation instruments, and we just ask that council read through them thoroughly and provide their input. We should have those copies to council by the third meeting. I'll turn it over to Ms. Jessie.
Madam Mayor, members of council, I sent to the HR committee members the final copies, or if you want to still call them drafts, for each of the direct reports. Only one still had outstanding comments. So 3 are ready to be sent to the mayor and council, full council. Actually, all of them, if you so desire. I can send those out anytime the committee gives me that direction.
Council.
I am. I don't have a committee report, but I do want to ask, tomorrow is National Night Out, and I know we didn't make that announcement here, but the question is, in the event that it rains, because I know some cities are canceling theirs, is there a rain plan for that? If the chief can come and speak to that, so people will know if they come.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, City Manager, City Attorney. Real quick, so this past Saturday, we had an event up here as well, giving away book bags. We moved to the inside. So if it rains tomorrow, and that likely, it probably will, we've already made arrangements to occupy this space, and they can walk in and get all their supplies.
Chief?
I'm sorry, it starts at 5, it ends at 8 o'clock tomorrow.
Here at City Hall?
Here at City Hall, yes.
Either outside or inside?
Outside or inside, rain or shine, will be here at City Hall. And the reason we didn't change the dates, we looked at the forecast, it's gonna rain all week, plus it's a national event, so we want to stay in accordance with the national event and have it on the same day.
Agenda items and executive session. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you all.
City Attorney, do we have any?
I have 3 litigation.
Mr. Jones?
I don't have any, but if the mayor and council would indulge me one moment, I'd like to introduce the new personnel.
I couldn't hear you.
If the mayor and council would indulge me for a moment, I would like to introduce the new personnel.
Oh, hold on just a moment. Let me see if any executive session items from council. I have 2 personnel.
And I will have 2 executive session items, personnel. That's right, personnel, that's right.
So that's 4 personnel and 3 litigation. Anything else, any other items from council? Mr. Jones, you can go ahead.
Well, I'd like to take a moment. We may have known there's a new face at the dais. That new face is Renee Tyler. She will be serving as our new deputy city manager. At this time, this will also be our moment to thank Miss Iris Jesse for her work in covering both the city manager position at one time and the deputy city manager position during this transition. And so this is the official passing of the torch. So that's why you have 2 heads over there. But I did want to just give the public a notice on, we had 60 applicants apply for the position. We narrowed it down, it was very hard, narrowed it down to 10, and worked even harder to get that down to 5 highly qualified individuals. Ms. Tyler came to us with a wide range of experiences that also included being a deputy city manager, being a city manager, being a director of community services, transportation services director, and assistant public works director. And one of the comments, we had a number of different areas for her to compete in answering questions, visiting with selection committees, and one of the comments from one of our selection committee members said that she exemplifies a rational leadership style marked with authenticity, empathy, and a natural ability to connect with others. Her interpersonal skills was exceptional. So I just pulled that out. She never heard that before, but just wanted to kind of give you one of the examples why we're very pleased to be able to introduce her this evening.
All righty. Can we get a motion to recess into executive session for 3 litigation, 3 legal, and 4 personnel?
So moved.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Motion to reconvene. Motion to reconvene. Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. In the matter of Agatha Lakes versus City of East Point, need a motion to proceed as discussed in executive session.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion to approve executive session meeting minutes.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. And a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Good night, East